People say the same old talk. Sometimes they don't act upon their word. You, my Lord, always answer when I call. I know I can lean on you, but I don't feel so strong. You be a seat for me when I feel like fall. Yeah. Starting to see in the end, you are all that I need. Starting to see, my God, you are all that I need. Starting to see in the end, you are all that I need. Starting to see, my God, you are all that I need. Your love has called me back now. Your love has called me back to you. Your love has called me back now. Your love has called me back to you. Your love has called me back now. Your love has called me back to you. Your love has called me back now. Your love has called me back to you. Your love has called me back now. Your love has called me back to you. Your love has called me back now. Your love has called me back.
Welcome in, folks. Welcome to the 2026 Ability360 Independence Cup, brought to you by Q90. My name is Monkey Shines. Alongside me, it is Snorkels. Snorkels, I always love the opportunity to cast this event. Started last year, helping out the fine folks out there with that are differently challenged, a bunch of different ways. But I gotta ask, how are you today, sir?
I am feeling so well, man. I mean, I'm filling big shoes today, obviously taking over for Rhino. I mean, nice guy, but I mean, this is such a cool tournament because I'm really used to NA. Like, I know you may be used to a lot of different regions, but there's almost every single region involved in this tournament. So I'm actually really excited to see what kind of play styles these guys have to offer.
And before we get underway, ladies and gentlemen, we do have Ability360's own president and CEO, Christopher Rodriguez, would like to get this tournament started with a few words of his.
Welcome to the Ability360 Independence Cup. My name is Chris Rodriguez, and I am the president and CEO of Ability360. Ability360 is a nonprofit organization that's been providing a wide variety of supports and services to youth and adults with disabilities for over 40 years. We're based in the greater Phoenix area and have over 75 programs that aim to assist people across the spectrum of disability in exercising maximum self-determination and independence within the community. Throughout the two-day tournament, you will learn more about the programs and services Ability360 provides and how they make an impact in the community, while also getting to see some amazing Rocket League players in action. Before we kick off our event, we would like to thank our presenting sponsor, Q90, and our booster sponsor, Link Logistics. Now on to the fun part. Let's get started. Good luck, teams.
Okay. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic words from the president and CEO. We are going to have ourselves a number of games going on. And for the way that this one is going to work today, we are looking day one being today, day two being tomorrow. We will be here for both. Day one, 4 pools that we have, top 8 teams advancing overall. But we are going to get kicked off in the here and the now. And as my colleague was saying, international bunch. Have you had the opportunity, by the way, Snorkels, to be in such a situation like that?
I mean, not really. I mean, I'm really just stuck with my NA and sometimes my EU folks. But again, I mean, our first match of the day, I know, is NA. So that's going to be something I'm used to. But again, I'm super excited to see how these other teams work because, I mean, we've been talking about it a lot. All of these different regions have these different play styles. They have these different players that are going to play in a little bit of a different fashion than some on the stream may be used to. So, I mean, including me. So that's what I'm really looking forward to.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time, I do believe, to do the thing. Open net missers and quad gods are where we will kick things off. Shifting on into the lobby, Rowing Bambino, Whiplash, and Breadwinner taking on CC, Soccer Nerd, and Soccer All Day. So currently, #Soccer All Day. And again, ladies and gentlemen, these are best of 3s over the course of our day. As quad gods currently have 3-1, looking to make it 4-1. Save there by Soccer All Day. Lays out for the dual save, and sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, can lead ultimately to a dub in terms of a score. It appears, though, Snorkels, that the quad gods, they have this one under control.
They seem to be doing all right here as the 3-1 takes its hold with 30 seconds to go, and Rolling Bambino to shoot one in the net, making it a 4-1 immediately. This
comfortable
game,
situation out there for the quad gods. You always like to go out there. You establish yourselves early on, especially in the best of 3.
yeah, we did. We did mention it was a best of 3, and it's a pretty short series. But you know what? You never know what's going to happen in that game number 2, and that's what these teams are really looking at: is what's that performance look like in that game number 2? Are they going to be able to kind of turn the tide, the quad gods here? Because that's what they're really looking at: is how do we change our play style up so this isn't a 4-1 this time. Hopefully, we can take it to them in the next game here.
Again, the quad gods got to feel good out the gate. Maybe for sweeping this one, but at the end of the day, they will take the dub. Will be our first of the day that we'll be viewing, and there will be plenty, ladies and gentlemen. And out there, Rolling Bambino able to get a pair. Same thing with Whiplash. So, and I know these folks, they are ready to go here, straight off the rip. But ultimately, you're able to go in there, 6 shots, 2 goals. Rolling Bambino able to get involved there early on. Everybody, I mean, taking their opportunities to get that shot on net. Meanwhile, for the opposition, it is a bit of a rough start, but 2 things I'm always curious about this, especially in a best of 3. Are you going to alter your game plan? Are you going to keep with what brought you to the dance? Technically, that was registration, but I do digress. And of course, the team taking the L in game number 1, how are they going to respond?
I want to see a little bit more goal participation from this team who just took a loss here, because that's really what I saw was missing from that rotation there. Is how often are they going for the ball? How often are they touching it? How often are they getting it to themselves, kind of riding their own wave, so to speak? So that's what they're really going to be looking at in game number 2, as that gets a little bit too close for comfort. Off the wall, right? Maybe to Whiplash here as that goes and clears right to the corner.
And maybe a little bit of trepidation as well, knowing that a pair needs to be won. Again, best of 3s. And ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to donate here today to the marvelous cause that we have going on, head on over to ability360.org/donate. We appreciate all of your kindness there. Nice setup by Breadwinner, and the quad gods continue on. Or excuse me, not the quad gods. we're settling in now. The open net business not missing on that occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm terribly sorry. Hashtag humanizing moments. We continue on.
Absolutely, we continue on, and so do the quad gods here. I believe it was flipped again on us, but they are killing it right now as the open net missers have the game. And a goal right there for Soccer Nerd. I did want to see more participation from him, so I'm glad that's kind of taken his hold. And as the tie game kind of finalizes itself, both teams now at it.
Asking ye shall find. And that's nicely, for that matter. That's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Never forget the magic word of please. Before 19 left to go in this game number 2. Quad gods getting the game 1 dub, but it does appear like a shift in attitude has happened here, and you get to find out. I mean, not only what your mental's like over the course of this one with those short games, but over the course of our day. Rolling Bambino, just a simple pop down the way, hanging out around midfield, leaps over potential defender. Leaps over a teammate. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, 4:07 left to go. The scoring fast and furious out the gate.
I say if it's a goal, it's a goal. And they're going to take what they can get. And the quad gods up top on this game here. And really, I mean, the open net missers, let's see if they can really not put the, that branding. Let's just say hopefully it isn't on point for them. But right now they do have an open net. They are going to push it to the wall, though. It looks like that branding may be a little bit more accurate than we thought. Goes up on the wall here, tries to take one. Soccer with the miss. Whiplash keeps going all the way on front there. It's not on the net quite yet. That takes right off the corner there. An open position for Whiplash to shoot it. It's a backflip, not quite in there, as it almost makes its way. But now on the attack once again. Breadwinner tries to put it to Soccer Nerd here. Takes it out once again. Is this going to be a passing opportunity? Tries to get the bump. CC puts it mid, and still not going to find its way toward that blue net.
Certainly one of the ways to lock down defense is to, pop your teammates into the ball. After all, the physics of Rocket League, I mean, they can be kind of weird. Certainly if you were on a different server, again, it's an international flares. We're out here on US West for the day, unless there is consensus amongst the players. But hey, when in doubt, I mean, it's just all about being in the right place, right time. Sometimes that is in front of the opposition. I don't think there's a full appreciation for just simply being in the right place, right time, especially when it comes off like cutting rotations. It's the kind of thing that doesn't show up on the scoreboard, but can be critical for, I mean, even overtime victories, let alone getting a goal on the board at all.
There's so many things that don't show up on the scoreboard that really, really matter in these games. One of those being rotations, another one being potential demos that you could get and disrupting that play, because that's really what the open net missers are going to have to try to do right now, is disrupt that play, get things shaky for the Quad Gods, so hopefully they can get a potential opportunity for one more goal here, as that goes up for Breadwinner here, and the save from CC puts it down. It's right to Bambino, though. Dangerous situation as no challenge comes through. CC is going to play that right over. Keeps going toward that corner, as that's a shot. Save denied by Soccer Nerd. Whiplash goes for it again. Bambino on the wall. It's another opportunity for Whiplash here, taken by Bambino. Breadwinner up on that front and still on the post. Cannot find its way in.
Maybe had a follow-up there by Whiplash, but too far back. I just want to see a traditional set of rotations. There was an opportunity out there at second, but an opportunity, it was missed. So the open net missers, they might have an opportunity here before too long, maybe clearing out along the goal line. Popped high, but ultimately rolling Bambino. Handling business on offense and defense, at least the attempts here, ladies and gentlemen. It does appear that the Quad Gods, they're just a little bit more in sync overall right now from what we've seen through the games thus far.
The open net missers here, I think they're doing it. They're getting those shots on target. It's just that Quad God's defense right now is really taking its hold on them. It's kind of encapsulating that feel of, oh, how do I actually get the ball in net with my rotations? How many times am I going to get the ball in net? How much pressure am I going to be able to put on this team using my teammates here as the ball rolls up the wall from a hit from Soccer here? And CC tries to play that, but it's a fake out, and that ball is left for Soccer Nerd. So that goes to Breadwinner. Will he win the bread of this 50? Looks like it, as that ball keeps rolling towards the wall here. CC tries to get a pass. Started going for Soccer Nerd. It's on the wall once again. He hits it on the wall. It's a pass. Maybe the other team here, as Whiplash tries to put it on net. But the scoreline has stayed the same. Both defenses will not let go. But the Quad Gods able to get another one and secure that scoreline.
And appropriately enough, it is the role of Bambino. Flickage, rollage, whatever you like in that case. But ultimately, 15 seconds left to go here, ladies and gentlemen, in our game number 2. Quite possibly 15 seconds standing between the Quad Gods and victory. But it just appeared this is a situation out there, Snorkels, where one team a little bit crisper, looking like maybe they warmed up a little bit more. The other, dare I say, a little bit more panic. I mean, we saw being bunched up along the goal line, popping each other around, and at the end of the day, indeed, the Quad Gods go out there with a 1-0 record following this one. But again, even though we're talking about a loss out here in the early going for the open net mixers, or the open net mixer base, pardon, this is a round robin, folks. We are going to be out there for so many games today, and these folks as well. So it's going to be a thing where even though you go out there and you play a short game, you've got to pace yourself, because this is definitely not a sprint. It is a marathon.
I think you're exactly right. One team looks so much more confident than the other, and I think the open net missers, this game is all about preparation, right? Especially in a team game like this, in threes, you have to be in sync. You have to know what your teammates are doing. You have to call those shots. So hopefully, the open net missers, I mean, they have another chance at this. Hopefully they can put a little bit more preparation into this, lock in. I mean, they got a warm up in, but so did the Quad Gods. So hopefully they continue their successful run.
And it does appear we have some DQ action here, as I will run through. As again, it's always unfortunate to be able to see that DQ for Dot apparently in there. So getting a dub, big pardon, for Dot actually getting the win courtesy of that DQ. And I know over the course of a long day, you might want to take that. Personally, as a competitor, you want to go out there and you want to win the proper way out there on the pitch. But again, when you have a day like this, when you are seeing so many games, sometimes you take an easy dub here, there, and everywhere. But at the end of the day, able to go out there, Quad Gods getting that dub. But when you've got, again, so many games, I believe you're talking about 7 per team. I mean, that again is a heck of a day. At the end of it though, and again, you've got 4 pools, folks. But again, great work here in the early going, and just a taste of the action we're going to see here today.
Something exciting is on the brink, and I can feel it. I can feel these exciting matches. They just keep coming, and that one right there was definitely something special. And I mean, a 2-1, it was close. Honestly, like a 3-1 is close in my eyes. I mean, one team definitely looked more confident than the other, but you're gonna see that all day. You got a lot of games on the roster here today. It's gonna be a long stream, but we are here for it. You guys should be here for it too. It's gonna be exciting.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick break, but I'm looking forward to the entirety of the day. I know my colleague is as well. Remember, if you want to assist, if you want to help out with for this tremendous cause that we have here today, it is going to be ability360.org/donate. We appreciate all of your kindness, especially the economic claim we find ourselves, but we will be back after this break.
This annual Independence Cup would not be possible without our presenting sponsor, Q90. Q90 provides accessible technology solutions to those with disabilities across the nation, assisting centers for independent living with documentation tools. Their user-friendly tracking and reporting helps to ensure that people, not paperwork, are the focus. Burnout and stress are less with a simple management system from Q90. Since 1993, Q90 has served over 300 centers for independent living across 56 states and territories and hopes to continue their work for decades to come. Ability360 would like to thank Q90 for helping fuel our annual Independence Cup. Link Logistics is one of the largest owners and operators of last-mile industrial real estate in North America. With approximately 3,000 warehouses and distribution facilities across 40-plus markets. Founded by Blackstone in 2019, Link leases industrial space to more than 7,200 businesses. From global e-commerce retailers and third-party logistics providers to manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. Link Logistics' infill-focused portfolio puts customers close to the consumers they serve, supporting faster delivery, efficient supply chains, and long-term business growth. Ability360 would like to thank Link Logistics for helping fuel the 2026 Independence Cup.
Hi, I'm Jackson. I play for the Ability360 Power Soccer Phoenix Rising team. I like being out and playing with all my teammates. After all these years is basically done, so I have better teamwork and I can get out and do a sport. It makes me super happy. I see myself continuing to play until I'm super good at it.
When he started, he was a little hesitant, but he just jumped right in and really learned like the logistics of it. His coach is also in a power chair, so he felt very connected in that way where Tony understands him. He has so much more confidence and a sense of independence. His friends think he's super cool when he talks about the stuff. We'll show videos of him. He just has really grown, and now he's just playing some of the moves he does. I'm just like, oh my gosh, you are getting so good. And it's really cool to see the progress and the growth. And so that's been pretty incredible to watch. I mean, we want everyone to feel included, accepted, loved. And I think that's the most important thing is these programs allow the kids to feel included and loved and accepted. Sports are something that we can make adaptive enough for most kids, and that's what we should be doing for sure.
Ability360 is Arizona's largest center for independent living. For over 40 years, we have been providing programs and services that promote the independence of people with disabilities. From non-medically based home care services to home modifications, peer mentors, and our vast array of sports and fitness programs, our focus is to ensure a full circle of support. Visit Ability360.org today to learn more about our services and opportunities to get involved with our mission. Ability360's annual Independence Cup would not be possible.
Bring my face low. Prayers to the sky is my halo. Even when I'm dirty in my sin. Father God, you cleanse me from within. You call me back to you. Your love has called me back now. Your love has called me back to you. Your love has called me back now. Your love has called me. I am so grateful. Love has called me back now. Your love has called me back to you. Your love has called me
Welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Ability360 Independence Cup. We kick things off, jumping into that last one. However, I think we will be able to get our next series in its entirety, and that is Balling Out versus WAP as we continue to begin our day.
It's gonna be a good match. I'm really excited for these type of matches. Once again, we get another best of two here against Balling Out and WAP. I mean, last game we saw a little bit of a domination on one side of the field here, but this time we get to see a little bit more, but it's an own goal coming from Matt to start things off.
Sometimes the best offense is your defense in that case, and ultimately Frostbeard, hey, we do appreciate. So say those in orange, and hey, here's a demo as your change. So Balling Out, able to strike first and make a statement while doing so.
And I was going onto this tangent last game. It's how do you interrupt? How do you interrupt the other play style of the opponent? And I think they did exactly that. How do you take somebody out of the play and make stuff like this happen? As a pass may come down here, it finds its way in the midfield as Mech tries to put this to the wall here. Aijo to try to get another one on the board, or one on the board, excuse me, try to tie this game up. Cryptix puts this down, and so far, a little bit of back and forth.
And I will say, ladies and gentlemen, more than likely not the Mech that many may be thinking of. I think he's actually busy right now playing in GSL if memory serves and timing serves. But at the end of the day, no doubt, equally as talented as we continue on here. Balling Out, maintaining that 1-0 lead for the time being. Finds them there back down to Frostbeard. Going to be met by the aforementioned. Back now with a touch. Looking to fall maybe with a double play. No, instead just pulls off. But there will indeed be a shot on. Those slow floaters. Honestly, Snort, sometimes harder to defend than the bangers.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, when you have a shot like that, it trips your entire team up because you're expecting just an immediate shot, and that's exactly like, you really look into what fakes actually are. It's literally just slowing the ball down when someone's predicting a fast shot. So if they can get more of that on, that's going to be really successful for them. And that finds its way down. Little rec wrap, not able to get to that ball. Mac tries to put it down. That ball right in front of the net here as Frostbeard tries to continue that downfield. A little bit on the wall here, a big challenge, a little bit of chaos in the center field here as that ball may find its way towards the orange net right now. Finds its way into the midfield here as Weapon tries to get another shot on target. It's met and it's to the wall.
I do also want to point out, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot have a name like Mech in Rocket League and not be insanely mechanical. That's not how this works. Nobody lies on the internet. Gorgeous touch by Frostbeard. Almost looked like it stuck to the nose of the ball. bodes well for potential air dribble situations. Again, balling out comfortable with this 2-0 lead for the time being. Looks like they're having to continue to kill a little bit of clock, work horizontal, and indeed they are finding a fair bit of rhythm here in the early going.
And the rhythm is what they need as these shots continue to pound their net as Cryptic tries to get another one beat in the air. As Frostbeard tries to take this one up, looking for a little bit of a passing play opportunity, met by Rekrap once again. This defense from this balling out team, this balling out roster per se, has been pretty immaculate so far. No mistakes on the field, and everyone knows Rocket League is a game of mistakes. And Mech really showing those mechanics right now as it pulls off the wall. Frostbeard trying to get one pass to Ijo. Could it be? And still off the post.
Continue on here, ladies and gentlemen, still 2-0 in favor of balling out. Balling out in these moments looking just a little bit crisper, and like you said, it is a game of mistakes. It's also a game of speed, and that half second, I mean, it comes in clutch. Also mental as well, so looking confident here in the early going as a little Rekrap, beg pardon, maybe looking for a double A, not going to be able to happen. Instead, it is the cross pitch game attempted by WAF, but they just have not been able to do much. Once they've been able to move up the pitch, they've had an opportunity or two, but some fortuitous bounces for their opposition.
Need to get a little bit lucky right now to be able to get one against this balling out roster and try to secure that tie game, because that's really what's going to be important in the long run, is how do you deal with game number one. Game number two is always going to be a mystery. You know, can you hit that reverse sweep? But game number one is really important to have, because once someone claims game number one in a best of three, it's automatically to match point, and that's something you do not want. If you're a team that's 2 down, you want to have that momentum going into game number two.
And I will say the rotation's truly on point right now for balling out where they need to be, able to get their bumps, able to get their demos to deny offensive efforts as Ijo looking to head down center, maybe a simple hook shot, and a simple hook shot indeed right into the car door of Mech to be able to deny one more time. Again, exactly where they need to be, and hey, it's not the sexiest thing in the world, but knowing your reads, game sense, I mean, it will win you so many games. It will continue to help you rank up in the game of Rocket League, and right now, again, balling out, looking as comfortable now as they did as 5 minutes in regulation.
I do see more aggression from WAF right now, though, as they continue to try to challenge that ball. Webben in the air with the shot all the way into that left side of the net. You saw the challenge coming from a mile away. It still went in. The shot was zero boost right over Cryptics. 1 up for WAF, 25 seconds to go.
Well, the move there, again, is if your opponent is going to go full send, if they're going to try to pop you in the jaw, you got to respond back. You cannot be too patient with that. Ultimately, the right hook needs to go out there, whether or not it is well advised or not, as Ijo popping this one high. Still an opportunity to bring this one even, but maybe one more opportunity is, yep, this one high, maybe able to fall on that one. Back to Ijo! And we do have ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, a tie situation from on high. Gorgeous touch, gorgeous setup, team play, and out of sorts was balling out a rare miss thus far.
The last second comeback, and I don't know if that double tap fake was intentional, but it was a very good play from Ijo here to capitalize on that shot last second there. But that ball is still up in the air. Are we going to avoid overtime? And we do not. Overtime, 2-2 for WAF in balling out. I really wonder who's going to take this, because it really looks even right now, and hopefully that one's not a kickoff goal.
And really testament to what WAF was able to do here. They looked disjointed, they didn't look as fast, but they were able to flip the switch and take on over into this overtime stanza. Looked academic there for quite some time, but Caster Curses Why Don't just says balling out. But to be able to go out here in this series of best of three, I'm getting the vibe that once we get to the end of this, I'm going to be very upset that it is not a best of 5.
I do want more of these type of games, and especially like I was able to, I've recently been able to cast a lot of those best of 5s and a lot of overtimes. That's what I've been seeing a lot, and it's just, I'm sad when there's not more. Like, Best of threes, sometimes a little bit too short for my eyes, but not too short for the winner, as someone will maybe take the opportunity to capitalize here as Frostbeard off of the wall tries to get something to a teammate here. It's still trapped on that orange side of the field. As the shot trying to pass to Ijo here. It still goes out. Mech showing off here. It's down on the ground. Ijo takes it, flip reset right to Frostbeard here. Does not find its way in the net quite yet.
It appeared that WAF happy to go back for that buffery volleyball FT dub. In many situations, this one pop high may very well tee up. Back down, Mech is there, but so is a little wrap. I think they may have thrown each other off just a little bit. Cryptic's going to be able to grab the mid-100, but ultimately gets away. Going to be staring at the other one, back down, looking for another shot off the little rec route. I will say, over the course of this one, though, if Balling Out is able to slow the pace back down, I think they can establish those rotations here yet again. I mean, again, has been a full send for WAF, but at the end of it, I mean, Balling Out, they were able to come in here with the fundamentals, and that gives you the opportunity, a little bit more of an opportunity to win here in OT.
Trying for an air dribble, beat down to the ground as Lil Regrap tries a shot. That net is wide open, but saved by Frostbeard in the net, and it keeps going down, but it's not quite in. This overtime continues to be the bane of who will be the winner of game number 1. Put out right by Mech. Can he get something going? A pass. It's crazy.
You saw the double commit on the save and right into the nose of Frostbeard, and he putting up a wall. Absolutely magnificent defensive work, as now officially a second half of regulation into OT. They call it free Rocket League, but I mean, technically it is free to play. It's free to play overtime. I suppose would be the way to go with that one. But again, back and forth this goes. Credit to WAF to be able to get to this point in the first place. Was 2-0 for a long time. Balling Out was balling out, but ultimately a testament to their mental as well, Snorkels, to be able to settle and say, no, we're not done here until we see zeros. We're not done until the game says that we are done. But coming up on 3 minutes into this one, it's about as even-handed as one could ask for.
They are going until they see God or a checkered flag, as they say, and that scoreboard has never looked prettier to them as they continue in this overtime. I mean, literally for the majority of the game, it was 2-0, you're exactly right, and now with this opportunity, they have one in the tank here, but Mech might go for the double tap save by Frostbeard at the last second there, and this game keeps alive.
Frostbeard being the hero right now, and may grab another one. OT killing shot potential, but too far off. Tackle back with there by Cryptix and Mech. Looking to corral, not a lot in tank. Cryptix follow-up denied off the challenge. And again, just back and forth like two titans clashing at the gates of Valhalla. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 1 of a best of 3. And at this point, I think these teams are happy that we're not talking about a best of 5. Lays out. Frostbeard able to get the aerial demo. My gosh, back and forth we continue on. Heavyweight fight mentality here.
Saves from both teams just continue to rocket in that net, and shots out the wazoo, as I like to call it. 4 minutes of extra Rocket League they have played, and both teams seem to have not shaken. Actually, WAF seems to have gotten more confident in their touches, more confident in their shots, as that save by Cryptix last second once again. Ijo to take it with the 50, giving it to center field, and Lil Rekrap tries to get the shot. Frostbeard to play it to the wall here and back in the hands of Balling Out.
Sometimes people will say that demos bumps volleyball. It is quote-unquote cringe. You know what I call it? A way to win a game. And when you find yourself in this situation, we may very well get to another entire game of regulation. You need to generate the errors, or at least, you know, we saw the open net missers. You gotta create the open net, and ideally not miss. As Mech looking to correct us, we are officially again another full piece of regulation. Frostbeard looking for a shot on, not gonna be able to grab it. And grab another one. It is going to take that sliver of space, that smallest of human errors, to provide a victory. This one, we talk about Rocket League being a mental game. You go out there after this one, whoever takes the L, I mean, gosh, a struggle that can be, even in a fast series like this.
I know the mental is going to be rocked for whoever takes the loss on this game, because you were just so close and you were right there. But literally 6 minutes later, these demos need to start rolling. Someone needs to be able to rock up and shake up a team. So far that play goes conscious, and that's on top, and it hits the crossbar, and still no shot will go in for WAF here, as Balling Out continue to have that, dare I say, balling out defense. Mech does put it to Frostbeard, though. Still, those shots keep rolling.
The other thing that can happen here is complacency, whether you want to or not. I mean, to be fair, these are human beings out there, and you have that speed going on, similar colors. However, oh, the absolutely gorgeous stall. 3 goals in a row, Ijo. And a little bit too much aggression there by Balling Out. Shot out of a cannon. My goodness gracious, what a way to get the dub. If you want to talk about affecting the mental, you're right there. You could have kept going. Could have been 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 minutes of overtime. And that's how it ends.
That was ridiculous. You just see that fake, and whoop, all those players go flying, and Ijo just has a free open net. I am still dumbfounded by that play, but not as much now that I see the scoreboard. 2 goals for Ijo. 3, I mean, the amount of shots he had on target, 8 shots to go with this game here to try to get those shots on net. He's definitely the star player for this WAF team, so hopefully he can keep them in check. These rotations keep coming, and it could be a different scoreline this time.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed game number 1 of this series. I am most certainly here for the rest of them being like that. Balling Out right now, okay. Not only did you take the loss, but you also had your 2-goal run stuffed, basically. The bleeding was stopped by the opposition, able to score 3 straight, including that overtime killer. For them, critical to get on the board here first, and in a hurry.
I was about to mention that. It's like, with all that insane goal and overtime play, it was also a last-second comeback. 25 seconds to go, and they got their first one in. And 6 seconds to go, and they got their second one in. So, I mean, props to this WAF team and roster so far for, you know, making it this far, putting that pressure on in the last second. The lock-in, the last-second lock-in was crazy, but now they have to lock in on game number 2 here as the redirect comes from Meg!
I have not had much to eat today, ladies and gentlemen, but same end of feet. Absolutely chef's kiss on that touch. And that's what I'm talking about. Heck of an angle. I don't know if anybody has a sale on Protractor. We are getting close to back to school time here in the U.S. Go get some. I need one after that shot for that angle.
I mean, Mech is definitely cooking something up if you're hungry. I mean, that was a killer shot right there, and that is something that Balling Out needed to continue that momentum that they had at the start, or the majority, really, of game number 1 as it goes over Frostbeard here, and Cryptic's trying to take another shot, maybe on the backboard here, and the mechanics just keep coming as the attempted flip reset from Cryptic's kind of takes hold here as Mech going off the wall. Once again, what can he show the team here? What can he do? Is that still 1-0?
I think it was critical for Max to be able to hit a shot like that. Not only do you get that first goal, you were able to stop the run of the opposition, but showing that, okay, we can indeed get back on the board. They're not going to continue on with those micro victories, being able to, you know, go there and build upon the momentum that they had with that overtime killing shot. The question now for Balling Out, with the success that we're seeing in the early going, can they maintain it? Because they get back to a 2-goal lead. That's fantastic. We've seen that movie before, and we know how it ends. But ultimately, a gorgeous shot by Mech, showing, again, not only can we score, but we can do it in tremendous fashion.
And it is working, too. And something that I think this Balling Out team has to realize, or has already realized, is in that overtime, they were also not scorable on for a good 6 minutes there, as that one caster curses right into the net, and the tie game comes to fruition. But I mean, back to the point, they were not scorable on for a good 6 minutes. So if they can hold their defense like they did in that overtime, bad ending, it could be a good one this time.
A pair on the wall and caught in the tactical backflip. So again, it is going to, you know, to your point, be those errors. I mean, we have seen balling out so crisp in rotation. Marvelous shot from Mech, obviously, but what was that? It was simply human errors. It looked like Ijo actually now out. It appears to be a 3v2 moment, and that pause almost taken advantage of by West. So unfortunately for those in blue, it is in fact 3v2. Hashtag put it on the t-shirt. Still able to maintain for the time being. And again, if you are those in orange, I mean, right now, if you go out there, you get a bump, you put one single solitary individual in a position they absolutely do not want to go through life with.
I will say it's way easier to kind of maintain the 2v3 than a 1v3 after a demo will be following suit, I imagine, soon if this 2v3 continues here. I mean, anything for a goal for these teams, but they might show some respect on the field, as it looks like that's happening right now as Frostbeard takes that ball up, tries to stall, create a little bit of time for maybe Ijo to come back here, or that 2v3 to take hold as Mech may try for another double tap here. It's a shot from Red Replit, saved by Wedden.
What a save, what a save, what a save. Chat disabled. My goodness gracious. And folks, this isn't just a situation that occurs, you know, kind of these tournament situations. This happened just last evening. RLCS, the NA last chance qualifier. Kamikaze was taking on the #1 overall seed Foot. However, it is top shelf over into the corner. And appropriately enough, Mech going to be able to get him on the board. Could only hold on for so long. Frostbeard, I think, trying to get a pop off the wall, but drug out of position, both over in the corner. And again, you can only deny, you know, in that 3v2 situation for so long. And as far as Ijo, don't know if it's a situation where the internet may have gone out as it did with Cheese last evening with Foot, but it is the flickery. And Tim, if you got him, it is a hat trick for Mech. I know this has to be a rough spot. Are saying is WAF that they are going to be getting him back, so continue to play on. And indeed, as Little Rec Rep says, it is quite an unlucky situation. And yes, this to my knowledge, does in fact still count. So if you are balling out, honestly, this is where you want to start crushing the mental of the opposition. You want to just shell the defense if you can. But, I mean, testament to who's out there now. Testament to Webb, testament to Frostbeard. They've been able to hold down the fort largely.
I will say, in my experience, it's hard to kind of tear down a mental, or the mental of these players who, you know, one player DC, and, you know, they come back eventually because they know they've got a third that's coming back, and them being able to hold the fort down, even though the scoreboard is less, you know, in their favor than they'd like it to be, still holding the fort down and not, you know, it just being a 7-1. Is a testament to them only with two players, and once they get that third back, I think that mental is going to be sky high because they know what they have to do. But right now, balling out may be taking game number 2 here as that scoreboard becomes the 4-1, the dreaded 4-1 that we saw. 6 seconds left to go. Looks like it's going to be a 1-1.
I will say, as well, as it looks like unable to get back in apparently is the third. Typically, I think your point is accurate, 100% as far as the DC. I would say lends far better to a best of 5 or a best of 7. When it's a best of 3, I mean, if a mistake is made like that, the margin of error even thinner than usual. So, I mean, how unfortunate. I mean, if you are those in blue, if WAF to go out there, you weren't able to build on what you had, and then even if we look at that, right, and say, well, yeah, it was a disconnect, that's not necessarily who we are. I mean, it's officially a best of 1 now. Again, the mistakes, there's no room for this.
We have to see, and, you know, obviously that game did count, but you did have a DC'd player, so, you know, it's something that you do have to take into account, of course, but still, it's a 1-1. You do need to get back into the swing of things if you're WAF. I mean, you kind of had a game off because, you know, the DC kind of happened a little bit earlier in the game than you'd like it to happen. So if you're going to really take this back, you have to get back into that mental. You have to get back into that threes style gameplay and really make no excuses.
Yeah, so here we are again, ladies and gentlemen, essentially a best of 1, and honestly a vibe at a time in this series that certainly doesn't feel like a best of 5, a best of 3. There's very much a best of 5 vibe here, especially courtesy of that game one OT. If you have the opportunity to go back and watch that a little bit later, folks, do that. But we've got to enjoy this game number 3. Again, winner here does advance, and I think it's critical for the mental of both of these teams. Whoever does score first, I mean, I think that's absolutely huge. It's cliche for a reason, especially in this situation.
The demo almost coming through the demo chase right to Rekrap, having a little bit of a nice shot into the left there to take that first goal and, you know, maybe secure that mental like you were just talking about. Balling out to get the first one 2 times in a row. I mean, the first shot in game number 2 is a little bit more snazzy, you could say, but that is still a shot on goal, and it went in the net. So, wow, still have some work to do as that kind of just goes off sides here as Webben tries to go for that ball there. Mech maybe showing off once again. It's right to little Rekrap, but saved by Ijo as the ball continues to pound that blue side.
And the statement made as well with that goal, we are going to bring the pain, we are going to bring the violence, and you are going to have to meet it if you want to get that dub. But ladies and gentlemen, game number 1, it looked easily in favor of balling out, ultimately going to an overtime. Great comeback at the very end, and my goodness, that overtime, it was a game in and of itself. A game and a half, not a game and a half. It was technically 2 games considering the amount of time we went on, and then some. All the fractions in the whole wide world going to be denied by Cryptics, however. And I mean, Snorkels, I'm still getting that OT vibe right now, even though it's 1-0 and we have a ton of time to go in regulation.
Me too. I mean, I'm getting a lot of vibes here. This could be, you know, a best of 5, it could be a best of 7 for all I care. I do want to see more of that overtime play style, especially from this WAF team here, as that goes top down, but still doesn't find its way in. I mean, barely in. If that would have been a little bit more in the net, that would have been a goal for WAF, and that would have been tie game. But woulda, shoulda, coulda. That ball finds its way in the center once again, right for Frostbeer. And it's again challenged by Ijo. Maybe a hit off the corner here, but he's not going to challenge. Low boost right for Webben here as he gets bumped. Shot for a little Rekrap, and Frostbeer to save it. That's still open for the great Mech.
Fine recovery there by Mech, and I mean, what an unfortunate draw for WAF. You're out there, you've got disconnects. Mr. Crossbar isn't in your favor. The deck right now appears stacked, but again, ladies and gentlemen, shades of what we saw in game number 1. Again, if you were not here for that, balling out, able to get to a comfortable lead early on, but in credit to WAF, they were able to bring things back for an OT. Most certainly here for that, but it is all about getting on the board for the very first time, showing that your opposition can in fact make mistakes. And again, over the course of this one, Snorkels, I mean, any playbooks going out the window at this point, and indeed they will do just that. Frostbear able to follow. Sorry, not sorry, he says.
I'm getting a little bit of a game 1 vibes here as the comeback may come to fruition here. As you got a little bit more than half the game left to come back for WAF. You just need to get 1 more on the board, and this could be the exact same situation. Very, very similar teams, not in terms of play style, but in terms of how they compete with each other. That always makes for the best games here as Frostbeer tries to put this mid. It goes to Cryptic though. Bad situation as you got Cryptic with boost. Fakes it out. Webben with 0 in the tank. Still not able to be challenged by the balling out opposition here as Mech fakes it out. Goes for it and he tries to get the Frostbeer, but still denied by that defense.
I think in this one, in the here and the now, I think you're looking at Mech for balling out, and of course Frostbeard. You can't win if you can't score, and has played tremendous defense. I mean, overall, WAF certainly has, but I will say Frostbeard appears to be leading the charge. Of course, we saw Mech with that absolutely marvelous angle a little bit earlier on. We saw the flick, so just a diverse playbook. And when you are able to get a Swiss Army knife out there, again, in a series that has left little room for mistakes, a mistake just like that, and Cryptics able to maintain control. Webb, gorgeous, I was going to say gorgeous touch. Ultimately, it's a team play. What a corral by Cryptics, and the walk-in to make 3-1.
Cryptics, that's what I call balling right there. Shoves the ball down on the ground, gets that fake out, and just pushes it right into that blue net. That was just a crispy shot that I want to see more of, just like that shot from Mech that we saw in game number 2 here, as that ball finds its way toward the blue net once again, and WAF find themselves 2 down, just like game number 1. But, you know, I'm not getting the vibe now that this may be a comeback. I mean, this defense from balling out looks so good, but I mean, hearsay that did the same situation in a game number 1, except, you know, WAF had 0 to their name. So more of a chance for this to come back here as Mech with the amount of boost that he needs to save the ball in net, but it finds its way in the left from an almost denial by Mech, but still able to capture.
And cuts back, cuts in from Crypt. Fine defensive effort, but effort nonetheless from Mech. But a simple hook shot. Folks are looking for the air dribble bumps. They're looking for the fancy stuff to put on TikTok. And it's one of the best mechs, offensive backs that younger players and newer players can look. Webb is going to knot us up at 3 and shades of game number 1. You thought this one may be Dunsky's, anything but. Going to see up by Frostberg said, I am more concerned about defense. Said I can be the team player. We are south of a minute and tied up.
I literally gasped when I saw that shot jump through the book with the pass right past Rekraft, but Ijo to find another one in the net off a kickoff, getting it past Mech with a full tank of boost, by the way, once again, to make it 4-3 and WAF 3 in a row. Maybe avoiding the overtime here, but you can't call it too early. Both these teams have had a very aggressive offense to start things out, and a weird touch may put it right back to Aisho again. It's down, right put out by Mech, but still, this net controlled by the blue half.
And then if you are those in order to say, oh my goodness gracious, is this where we were before? Here we go again. They do still have time, 30 seconds left to go in this one, and their focus is taking us back to an odd number game overtime. Like the nudge away, back, not going to be able to follow up on it. You gotta wonder, does Cryptic have something in store for us? Every single member of this crew of Balling Out has gotten one on the board this time around, looking for the full team play again. They have all of 10 seconds to make it happen, however, looking to get a clear, but there's your setup opportunity back. Ijo just needs to like walk this in. Mech, and now goes towards the wall, looking for a little bit more, plenty of boost to work with. Flies past one, however, that one pops up and boom, trying to get back. It pops high off the pick. It will go back down to Mech. It is the nudge away. And wow, when you look back to game number 1, initially, going even into, 4 minutes, it looked like this may be easy peasy. We may be out of here 2-0, but testament to what WAF was able to do. Frostbeard, Ijo, and Webb really led, I think, the charge. Did Frostbeard on that one. Constant denial. When you have a team that is solid offensively, seeing those fantastic rotations and everything like that, to be able to stymie that, and then the back and forth of the mental of this one, what was challenged back and forth, I think that overall, for WAF, I think it's going to serve them well moving forward, but it is a long day, so sustaining that far easier than not.
I think it was just a great game overall, great series, and a best of 3 honestly did not serve me right in that, but, you know, I digress from that. I mean, you look at the play style of Ballin' Out the entire start of every single game, and it looked magnificent, and they put those shots on target. But every single time they lost that flow, they lost that pressure, and again, succumbed that it wasn't even an overtime in game number 3. I mean, just a kickoff goal to really end it there. You know, it kind of set my heart back a little bit, but still, WAF to take it in an absolutely amazing series.
Well, it certainly wasn't a cheated victory, but it was the cheat that, in fact, provided the victory. But again, tremendous second game. Ladies and gentlemen, I was going to say the disability gaming community that's got stories to be told. And, you know, with this being the Independence Cup, Ability360 wants to provide a platform for people with disabilities in the gaming space to share their stories and their gaming experience. So Steven Altamirano, who goes by Wheeled Gamer online as a streamer and content creator, spoke with Ability360 about how he's developed on his platform, the adaptive tech he uses to compete in competitive gaming, and more of his personal journey as a quadriplegic professional gamer. I'd like to kind of take a look at what he's going on.
Collection of how I felt. The next thing I remember was after my injury, I didn't want to speak to anybody. I didn't want anybody to see me. I just kind of hid in my room. Eventually, my mom had a conversation with me. If I was going to be at her house, I was going to have to fight. After that day, it was just a learning experience and see what I could do. One day, I searched how to play video games without using your hands. With my disability, I play better than some of the players that are actually using their hands. I could compete in a game that I never thought I would be able to. My name is Steven Altamirano. I go by Will Gamer. I started gaming back in Black Ops 2. I was on vacation visiting my sister, and her husband had a PlayStation 3, I believe. That's how I started. I played it for 1 month nonstop, and once I went back home, never touched it again until after my injury. One day, I searched how to play video games without using your hands, and a couple options came up. Some eye tracking technology, some different stuff, and then I found someone playing with the quad stick. I liked the part that I was able to do everything in the game by myself. So I looked into it. I sent a message to the person that I saw playing with it. And when I finally got it, I started practicing. Think of it as a joystick attached to a harmonica. You either blow in or you sip air out of the mouthpiece. Each tube or hole can be one button, like moving forward, backwards, left, and right. I have to blow on my controller. To shoot, I have to sip on my controller. To slide, jump, drop shot, grenades, all that is done by blowing into the controller. And if you start combining like the left and center, it's a whole different button. And everything is customizable within the program of the Quad Stick Manager. I've been playing with the controller about 4 years. So it took me a while to get good with the controller and understanding it and everything I could do with it. I thought I was going to be a bot like the whole time I played, but over the years I have improved and been able to compete a lot better. A lot of people come in the chat and they're amazed of how I'm able to do it.
Greetings, bro. Welcome in. Thank you for tuning in, homie.
And they want to know how it works.
I shoot by sipping on my controller. The white tube is just part of the controller, bro. Took me like about a year to get used to my controller.
Sometimes they'll say things like, "You're amazing," things like that.
Sky, thank you for the heart. Milton, gracias por las rosas. Gator, thank you for the follow on the purple app. Greetings, Matias. Thank you very much for the super chat, bro. Someday, bro, someday.
And it really fills me with joy knowing that even in my situation that I can sometimes make someone's day better. The most fun I have is knowing that with my disability, I play better than some of the players that are actually using their hands. I could compete in a game that I never thought I would be able to. And it's been a work in progress. I had to learn so many things that at the beginning I did not know about. 2 PC setups, setting up stream. It was a struggle, but we made it with my mom. My little brother helped so much. For the future, I would say the Will Gamer will continue. I definitely and enjoy playing games. Hopefully, I am able to take it to a different level, maybe professional or competitive. Ever since before I got my quad stick and I saw this person using the quad stick, my first thought was, if he can do it, why can't I? That's something I really believe, and it's something that makes me want to be better at the game, to be able to show others that these abilities are not going to stop me from succeeding in gaming.
Let's go.
Mission accomplished. All targets eliminated.
I spend my days wondering what you're doing, and all my nights staring at the ceiling. So far away, I'm afraid I'm forgetting your face. Different place, I wanna keep the feeling. My home is you, do you still believe it? Tell me nothing's changed, say it's still the same. Don't you let your heart grow cold. Tell me that you wait till I find a way out my door, to get back to you. Back to you. I run the sun goes down. I ran away 'cause it's what I needed, but you still have my heart. Tell me nothing's changed, say you're still the same. Don't you let your heart grow cold. Tell me that you'll wait till I find a way out my door to get back to you. Back to you. To get back to you. Back to if I could stay, then I would have, you know it. If only home would have kept its promise. No one knows my name here alone. My fears are across the sea for our dreams to come true. Everything that I do is for you. Everything that I do is to get back to you. You get back to you. You.
The sun is shining, my grades so high, and it's all 'cause I got him. He's always on time, yeah. My heart, he owns it. My love, deep like the ocean. My time and devotion, he deserves it all, yeah. Really can't complain, I'm like, oh my gosh. No one moves the same as reaching the top. Jesus, if I got you, I got it all. I got it all, yeah. I don't need anything else. In other words, you're enough for me. Finding you out for myself. God, I just wanted you to know I'd do anything already for you. You could have my heart, 'cause with you I don't need anything else. Tell me now about you. I'm not interested in the money, I don't dig. So much more to life than the green and getting big. Jesus sacrificed his own life for all our sins. He just wants to know you don't matter where you've been. I know what you're looking for, but you keep knocking on the wrong doors, yeah. Don't stay knocking on the wrong doors, 'cause you'll always be looking for more, yeah. You know that feeling, feels so empty, it won't let you be. I suggest you run to God, 'cause he can set you free. Really can't complain, I'm like, oh my gosh. No one moves the same as reaching the top. Jesus, if I got you, I got it.
Welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ability360 Independence Cup. I'm Monkey Shots. Alongside me, it is Snorkels. And, sir, we have had ourselves a day, a fantastic series a moment ago, ultimately taking the dub. Well, we are back with them against one of the finest teams, I would say probably one of the favorites here today, in Wingle Dingle Doobashoot.
Hey, you messed it up, dude. Wingle Dingle Doobashoop. Say that 3 times fast for me. I mean, that is going to be such an interesting match to try and comprehend. But you know, we have a few ways to say the name, so we are good. But it will be against WAF, and we saw them before. So it will be, you know, something of recollection for you all. But Wingle Dingle Doobashoop will be some new faces.
The question, of course, is what are we going to see out here? Is it going to be another game 1 double? You know what it is? It is another 2-game deficit, or 2-goal deficit, I will say, in the opening round here. And ultimately, you do have a team out here representing both the U.S. and Canada, and Wingle Dingle Dubashu, which, again, I'm pretty sure they're happy with being orange just for the sake of making sure that, I guess, the branding is somewhat on point. But yeah, 2-0, fully expecting a great deal out here from Yoko as well. But WEF, I think it's a situation where they get used to the play style. Frostbeard back then, we've seen tremendous defense from already. I have no doubt to not think we won't continue to see.
I think also this is something that they're going to have to get used to in you know, the grand scheme of things, because they had to do it with balling out in the last game, and I think they're going to have to do it again, because this looks like a little bit more of a powerful roster than they had with balling out here. So they might be able to get another one in right here, and that's a save right there, and it's not on the net yet, but Ijo to take it out right there, preserve that 2-0 lead, and Dingle Dubas not able to get another one on the net.
You saw the pause by Wingle Dingle Dubashu, needing to follow up to put that back in the net. They gave the opportunity to WEF, who has shown us, of course, ladies and gentlemen. We retreated to defense, do you expect it? But just show them, yes, we'll keep after it. You must do that. And Yoko, kickback sends this one over towards the walls. Ijo going to grab the 100 now. Frostbeard lying in wait, does not need the squishy. Ultimately, Ijo taking this one away, grabs the other 100 as well, trying to sucker the opposition in. Yoko out there, nothing can take. Zap is going to be able to get that touch to deny it. Yet previously, we did see falling out. They were able to grab a fine lead. Looked like they may very well take the game comfortably. Maybe the series comfortably. It's best of 3. We'll see throughout the rest of the day. Of course, we know how that ended. 1 demo, 2 demos, 3 demos. It is violence all over the pitch.
That makes its way toward the net. The flip reset from Zao in the top right corner. I don't know if that was expected or not, but low boost to right over full boost Ijo and Webbin to secure a third one for the Dingles here.
Absolutely gorgeous, sublime, if you will, coast to coast even. But no, I digress. Ultimately, to go out there and see gameplay like that, if you are WAF, I mean, definitely makes you blink a little bit slower for the moment. And keep in mind, a series they just came off of, mentally draining. You're out there playing an overtime that was for eternity and a day. Thought it may very well go longer, and how it ended, my goodness gracious. But still 3-0, still plenty of time to go in this one. We've seen them score quickly. Ijo, maybe the opportunity. This one gets away, and that gives time for Yoko to steal it again. Those opportunity circles, what they have to take advantage of. Right here, another one, but will be denied.
That defense is just really, really strong right now. And you're thinking about both teams, really, their defense has been strong, with the shots that are coming on target from Wingle Dingle right now are just insanity as the challenges keep coming. The demos do too, and that's shut down by Webbin, but no longer as Zaf tries another quick play to the corner here. But the double commits are coming through from Wingle Dingle, so I'm wondering if that comeback may be something in the cards for our friends from WAF here. But Zaf, he faked out by that ball. He did not read that to the best of his ability. It goes out to Ijo. Yoko has a little bit of a shot here, and that's going to make its way in. But Reeker tries for the redirect and saves his own ball.
WAF very, very thankful for the lip of the goal there. Banger, but back down center. Zath lying in wait. And again, we're seeing, I think, a little bit more aggression and a little bit silkier work in terms of the team plays, everything. Again, it's not necessarily the fact that you got 3 on the board, how you got them there. Did you get there in style? Did you get there with a marvelous reset situation that we saw? The answer is yes, and it's something they are now going to have to respect in WAF the entirety of this series. But again, remember, ladies and gentlemen, all of 3 games in totality. Although the way this has been going, looking to keep it at 2 is that one off the booty. 5 shots, 2 goals. It is a continued steamrolling. Absolutely gorgeous. Get the flip reset pop, and I do believe, at this point at least, we have gone full free play.
Quite possibly full free play, and I really thought, this is just me, I really thought this team, as they get 1 in over Wingle Dingle's 4, I really thought this team was going to expect the mechanics more, and especially you had those mechanics from Mech in the last game. You had mechanics from all three balling out players, arguably better than the whole WAF team, just mechanics solo. But then you're talking about these guys, they're really on a whole different level, but they just did not expect that level. You got 2 flip reset shots from, let's see here. It's from one of the players here. It's from Zath here. 2 flip reset shots from Zath. As another one goes in from WAF, and I'm starting to get suspicious here.
Well, we have seen what happened when we have doubted WAF. Caster curses aplenty. I think at this point they're asking for even more. Tell us that we can't do it. Tell us that it can't be done. And the other thing that I was curious about as well, you saw the kickoff strats come out to play, getting them that very first goal, and I was wondering to myself, okay, was that a little bit too much? Are you showing too much of the playbook, letting them know it's going to be there? No, I don't think so, and it is an own save, courtesy of Yoko, but no doubt maybe looking for one more to end this one with a little bit of authority. Back down, nobody out there in second to shoot it. Instead, Webb, this one gets away, and I will say at the end of the day, they did bring it back within 2, but the question that I have, how much of that was, I guess, kind of a foot off the gas a little bit much by Wingle-Dingle-Dubashub, and how much was actual execution? Still, letting the opposition know that kickoff strat's very much a thing out here, but my goodness, that's 6 shots, 2 goals, and both of them absolutely beautiful.
I think it was like a foot off the gas type thing. I feel like once everything went, like at the 4-0, we went full free play, obviously, and I think that's a good term for it, because I think that like you said, foot went off the gas pedal, things just started slowing down for this team, Wingle-Dingle-Dubashub, and they decided, hey, we've got this in the bag, right? So they just took it all out, and 2 came for WAF here, and it seems like this thing may not be continued in the future if really Wingle-Dingle decides to really just straight hard on this net there and put that pressure.
Yeah, and I got to say, nothing wrong with that as well. I have had the opportunity, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, to see Yoko play a number of times. An individual that's been at a bunch of weekly tournaments and things like that for the Royce Americanas. So, again, an individual that puts in a great deal of effort. And I'm not exactly hating the idea of pulling the foot off the gas in that case. You've already got that comfortable lead. You're going to be here a little bit today, even if there's a couple of disqualifications along the way. So not hating it. We'll see if they can get a mirrored effort here in game number 2. I will say as well, Snorkels, Yoko as well, a 1v1 fiend. So when they have that attempt at a breakaway, I mean, it's going to be difficult. I mean, even for the likes of Frost.
1v1 fiends are indeed dangerous, and especially with a breakaway like this. Low boost, he gets the flip reset though, and tries to get the bump and set it up for one of his teammates here, but not going to come through. But this offense still looking brighter than ever. Zap lands another clip for the stream.
It is the doble off the wall, nudged away by Rigger, and a banger. What placement as well, making an early statement that, hey, we loved your last series, very entertaining, but you're not going to be putting any more content on us. Actually, it will be the inverse.
A lot of MVPs in this game, but I really think WAF to deal with this onslaught. I mean, the first 2 flip reset goals from Zad, that was just a result of a good shot, just a nice clean play. But then you're going against, a double tap like that. You have to clean up those rotations, because that's the thing you have to be looking at is how are you going to have those rotations? This is game number 2. You do not want to go out in a sweep as that gets cleared by the great Yoko there. Reeker puts it up right to Zap here, trying to go for another redirect. It's right to Reeker, off the wall, right to Yoko to slide it in that left.
And this is what we've seen quite a bit already, but definitely in this game, the team play coming out to play multiple times. And when you've got that consistent shot after shot after shot right now, Wingle-Dingle-Dubashub with 6 in total, 3 from Yoko, 3 from Zap, you're just going to put so much pressure on the defense. However, Ijo going to be denied by Reeker, and the success that Ijo had with the slowdown a little bit, with that patience, they cannot have it in this one because the speed and the intention of this crew, Wingle-Dingle-Dubashub, it will deny you.
Wingle-Shub here are denying every chance they get, in a double tap may become reality again, but Wedded to try to take that off the crossbar there, but what I was saying is they're being met where they are. WAF is by Dingle Dubashu. They're being met exactly where they are every single chance they get. That's a testament to how well these guys play as a team, how well they're able to keep each other in the play as the awkward position from Zath becomes something to get it past the whole entire team here and tries to get it past Ijo. Met by Webb and Reeker on the wall once again, looking for maybe a passing play here, but still on the wall.
And what that says to you, by the way, if you're in blue, if you're part of WAF, it's like, okay, these guys think they can come out here, they can clip on us, they can do this kind of stuff, and we're out here just trying to get a dub. I mean, it puts you in a rough spot. You know that, well, goodness, so does that demo, courtesy of Yoko. Webb gets 30 through the hard way. It puts you in a tough spot because you're just trying to run your game plan. The other people are just having a good time, wondering what they can get on TikTok. That's got to be infuriating.
And it really results in, you're going against a better team here, and you have to lock in. And once you get something ready, once you get a play style locked into place and you're patient with that ball, and they're not just going full free play on you, like we are seeing in game number 1 and game number 2 right now, then it becomes more of a testament to how you play. But right now, this WAF roster cannot really compete with the amount of shots that Wingle Dingle Dubashu are putting on, and the amount of pressure that they have.
And Ijo set high, the soft touch. That went off the booty of Yoko. Wait a minute. Big saw squirrel. It happens to the best of us. Buck 48 left to go in this one. Wingle Dingle Dubashu, but their deficit rended in twain. But I really feel, even with the 2-goal lead, and now with the 1-goal lead, it still feels like it might be in hand just from what we've seen from this team in orange from Wingle Dingle Dubashu.
If WAF can pull this off, that would be just a miracle. But Yoko is not letting that ball out of the blue half, but it does escape from Webb in here. Reeker gonna try to take this one up. I mean, you really have to focus up on, right now, Wingle Dingle, they are in a tough spot. Either they can take the game right here, keep playing in free play, keep the foot off the gas pedal, or they can put it on, take this game by storm. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do here as Weapon. It's the flip reset. It's right over. Frostbeard challenging up on that ball, kind of with a double fake out. Everyone thought he was going to jump there. Ijo trying to get control of this ball, but right now just shot down by every member of Wingle Dingle.
And again, Ijo trying to get possession back. Ultimately, bully ball the bumps, the demos. Going to be mandatory if they want to get this dub, as will shots on net. Going to be denied there. 40 seconds left to go. Ijo sends this one high. Looking to follow up on Reeker. Going to be able to corral, looking for the send. Webb just trying to get in position to stall and challenge. Indeed, he will do just that. 30 seconds left to go now. And again, this is a team out there. They are playing with house money. They can make more mistakes. At the end of the day, they do have one more game. Don't want to play it most certainly. Frostbeard looking to set up, back down. Ijo not going to be able to corral, and not a whole heck in terms of boost as well. So looks like having to play a little bit of keep away right now as Wingle Dingle Dubashu. 10 more seconds. They will indeed be able to advance back and forth. Indeed, be clocked, the absolute archenemy right now of WAF. I realize the score may not be the biggest deficit in the whole wide world, but wrapping the bow on this one is the aforementioned Yoko. Thank you very much. I can certainly use that mid-100. The follow, and it is GG.
GG's well played on the field here. Wingle Dingle to take that in a sweep, and expected with the mechanics that were really shown on that side. And just the game sense overall, being able to take that game, exactly what I said, by storm, and Yoko making that deficit a little bit bigger at the end with that gorgeous double tap.
Yeah, an exclamation point, if you will, on the entirety. But ladies and gentlemen, if you were wondering why I suggested they were one of the favorites, there you go. But ladies and gentlemen, I also want to say, hey, Link Logistics, one of the largest owners and operators of last mile industrial real estate in North America, with approximately 3,000 warehouses and distribution facilities across 40 plus markets, founded by Blackstone in 2019. Link leases industrial space to more than 7,200 businesses, from global e-commerce retailers and third-party logistics providers to manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. Link Logistics InfiliFocus portfolio puts customers close to the consumers they serve, supporting faster delivery, efficient supply chains, and long-term business growth. Ability 360 would like to thank Link Logistics for being a booster sponsor for the Independence Cup. And if you would like to assist this fantastic effort here today with the Independence Cup, we would absolutely adore even a little bit. Deny yourself that large latte. Head on over to ability360.org/donate. We greatly appreciate your kindness. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick break. It has already been a fantastic day of action. I cannot wait to see what we get when we return.
Hi, I'm Don. I'm the Reintegration into the Community Coordinator here at Ability360. I help people with disabilities, whether a new injury or not, in nursing homes and care facilities, get back into the community. Follow me. Well, I get to go out to rehab hospitals or nursing homes or group homes and meet people that have new or existing disabilities and that want to be more independent in the community. And so I work one-on-one with them to reach that goal. And so it's really great opportunity for people to make that move into the community and be a little more independent. I think in some cases people feel a bit trapped in their situation, and to have somebody be able to help them make that transition into the community is very beneficial. I know for myself, being as independent in the community is my biggest goal. And so when I can see somebody make a step towards that, whatever it is, even if it's a little thing, that makes a good day for me, and I think for them as well. This program is completely free. So if you yourself have a disability or you know somebody with a disability who's trying to get back out into the community, live a little more independently, please reach out and get in touch with us. We're here to help.
Hi, my name is Melissa Mogensen, and I am Jax and Mason's mom. They started playing power soccer back in October. I mean, it's just opened up this whole new level of independence and love for sports. They used to play regular soccer, and then they were diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and now they're both in power wheelchairs, and there aren't a lot of power wheelchair sports. Power soccer is one of the only ones, and when they got in those chairs and they realized they could spin around and go super fast and just have a good time with others, they just fell in love, and now we have been here every Monday since, and some Fridays. So it's been really incredible to watch and see them just kind of grow and learn a new sport. I mean, I feel like it's so important just to be sure they're included and that they have a normal life. There's so many things that they're not included in, and for them to come to this gym, first of all, and just feel so included, like they could do everything that everybody else gets to do, is just, it's a feeling you can't really explain, really. It's just so incredible, really.
everything will come to pass. My fear fades away when you call me your child and take me as I am, diving in you. Call me by name and show me your true love. Nothing compares to who you are. Jesus, I want you. Nothing else, Lord, just you. Jesus, I want you. Nothing else, Lord, just you. Don't let me be without you, 'cause everything will come to pass. My fear fades away when you call me your child and take me as I am, diving in you. Call me by name and show me your true love. Nothing compares to who you are. Jesus, I want you. Nothing else, Lord, just you.
Welcome on back, folks, to the Independence Cup, brought to you by the fine folks at Q90. So we have had a heck of a day here today, but myself and Snorkels, we step on in to see Balling Out again, but they will be taking on Popeyes FC. If you weren't hungry before, you will be by the time this is done.
I think we were both craving some Popeyes after we heard what match we were going to be undertaking here, but we do get to see Balling Out once again, and it looks like Mech is already showing us some stuff as CJ puts that ball up to the wall here. Cryptics bringing that right to Falcon. Keeps going to the wall here as it takes all the way up. And right there for Mech, it may be another double tap here, but I'm really excited to see how this Popeyes FC defense is, because that's what I'm really paying attention to.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know that we will see the level of mech that we did previously. But again, as I said earlier on, if you're going to name yourself mech, you best go out there and do the thing. But we have seen tremendous angles, some tremendous attempts. And right now, Raya and CJ just staring the aforementioned down, lays out Falcons, able to deny. And yeah, when you have two over there, you are definitely hoping you have somebody locked down. And most certainly that was the case in that moment. But again, Balling Out a little bit earlier on. We're on the orange now, on the blue, and they did have success. Marvelous save by Cryptics. That was that series was absolutely absurd. Hope we get another one here.
They're looking pretty dominant right now as it goes under the ball real quick, and CJ gets the bump out, and the 50 goes in. CJ to take the first one for our friends Popeyes FC here. Balling Out not as dominant as I thought they were.
Brute force sometimes is what's necessary. Getting on the board first is Popeyes. So 1-0 in favor of those in orange. Again, ladies and gentlemen, best of 3 over the course of the day, the round robins that we will see. I gotta say here in the early going, I really appreciated what we saw from Balling Out, but what they do need is the opportunity to build upon any lead they get, because we've seen them surrender them more than once, and indeed looking to grab one, courtesy of Cryptic's gorgeous team play as time has gone on. This is a team that has found even more success, even more of that rhythm we talked about. Beautiful setup, marvelous finish.
I mean, Balling Out may be the ones who take the comeback here. We will see, because it might be tables turned right here. It looks like they're very similar teams, and so far with a pretty similar play style here, it looks like the Popeyes gang is a little tiny bit more mechy here and put together. It seems they're able to really get those shots, get those beats on target, and they're not disconnected. They're in sync. As CJ try to get that, but back flips as goes wide area, tries to get the save there, does so. Falcon goes over him, CJ to the wall. That kind of takes fruition here out in center field. Falcon again trying to get the pinch on target, does get the bump on Cryptix. That ball is up and over. Met couldn't get to it, but Wreckraft with the follow-up, and that just goes straight on target. Still on the crossbar and the finish from area to make it 2-1 for Popeyes.
Maybe more of a drawn-out play than they would have liked. Like Flomp demo affording them this back and forth. Cryptix in a rough spot, and again, a demo after the fact. And you might say, well, what is the point of that? The play's over. You know what the point is? To continue to press the mental that we ain't done. We are never going to stop. It is going to be ferocious. And that is the kind of thing that gets in the back of your mind. It's something you have to keep your head on a swivel, and at all given time. And I know that is infuriating, no doubt, for their opposition, but I mean, again, this is a crew of Popeyes FC that been providing plenty of crispy moments.
Rocket League is a game of statements, I think. And if you can make the statement that, you know, you're never going to give up on that net, or you're never going to stop putting pressure, or you're going to hold that defensive line to its last end, I think that really creates that thought and that mental in the opponent's minds of, oh, you know, they made that statement, that's not going to happen. But then once you break that rule, like once you let a goal in, then that mental can start to come back for the other team here as the shot lands with CJ with the save. Cryptix not able to get it past that front line and area with the clear, and that ends up with an open net, and Cryptix could not get to it in time.
What a transition. The opportunity denied by the lip of the goal. But Araya, the send there, Cryptix cannot make it happen. From your opportunity to put one back at the net to bring us even to 3-1. Buck 39 left to go. An unfortunate turn of events for balling out.
Popeyes FC has definitely been the dominant force in my mind, but still, there is room, there is space for a little comeback here as that ball finds its way above the orange net again, cleared by Falcon. That goes down right here. Wreckraft to put that ball up, gets bumped into the play, tries to put it down right there for Cryptix, and it makes its way into the back of the net.
Balling out, looking to do their best. Love impression, fine bump there, and keeps after it. Do those in blue, balling out. They ain't done just yet. Buck 14, still plenty of time, but that does go both ways. Hey, we've been treated to marvelous series. We demand the content around here, ladies and gentlemen. It has been far too long before we saw an overtime stance, especially one that went several minutes. I think it's about that time.
They can hear us right then and there with the overtime demand coming through. 1 minute to go. We have a 3-3 on our hands with a musty flick from Cryptix to get it over the entire Popeyes defense. Some very impressive goals on the deck today.
The name may be Mech for the teammate, but Cryptix looking anything but cryptic. Marvelous play to be able to bring us even at 3. And when you go out there, you have the opposition, like we saw earlier on, when you have the opposition where they have what should be, in theory, a comfortable lead, and it is removed that quickly and in that fashion, it forces them now to reset, to respond. So for Popeyes, it is all about not just getting on the board, but I think doing it with some emphasis. Certainly they will take any kind of score to be able to advance to a game number 2 with a victory in their back pocket. Is Araya catch and carry, and it is brute force opportunity here yet again, but denied in marvelous fashion by falling out. Neck looking for the catch and carry across mid back there. Ultimately losing possession. Falcon may be able to nudge. 10 seconds left to go with this one, ladies and gentlemen. Cryptic kicks this one back. CJ looking for a simple fall to be able to get the
No way!
Absolutely gorgeous. What a touch. What an elegance. A poise. A grace, dare I say. And Popeyes FC ain't about that OT life whatsoever.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee is the mantra here, and CJ did not let that overtime request slide as there's still 1 second remaining and it's almost down on the ground. It's still up in the air. Mech to send it down, and CJ really being that decider in the game there. That was an insane shot.
Very much the MVP, and that one was CJ. 5 shots, 2 goals, also the savior out there in terms of defense. But my gosh, that final goal, I mean, really, really said it all in everything. Just absolutely marvelous way to deny us overtime. And if you're going to do that, I appreciate doing so in such a fashion. But again, my gosh, what a game number one. The opportunity was there as well at the end. Just unfortunately, poor spacing, poor rotation, denying somebody out there at second. Otherwise, I think we do go to overtime.
I'm actually okay with not having an overtime there after that shot. That was marvelous. But going into game number 2 here, I think the defense from balling out is really going to have to, I say it again, ball out as they really try to take over that net and see what they can do there in terms of beats and how they're going to get the other team to overcommit.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, we had a game that was darn near OT, except for the heroics out there previously by CJ. So balling out, if anything, they know they can bring things even, and just the way that ended, I got to think they were anticipating an OT.
100% they were anticipating that OT. There's no way. Like, they were all probably like, oh, he's not hitting that. And then he does. So that, consistency, I keep saying it, consistency is the difference between Platinum and SSL. And when you have consistent touches like that, when you have consistent shots like that, you're going to trip some people up, and especially people who are lower ranked, who are not expecting that, because that entire team was expecting to go to OT there, and they were preparing for it, but were not preparing for that shot.
Yeah, to my partner's credit, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going out there, you were spending thousands of hours hitting the same shot, the same mechanic over and over and over, where it's just muscle memory. You're going full autopilot. You can stay up for 48 hours at a time and still be able to hit gorgeous mechanics and gorgeous carries like we saw CJ get previously. I mean, it's a struggle for those who are not. Just back there by Mech. Absolutely beautiful. A little bit of love to the fine folks at Gentle Mates. Gorgeous carry, and maybe looking for a hook shot there, but it is the pop back. And again, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit easier to learn, believe it or not, but my gosh, is it effective. And puts a little something extra in the back of the defender's mind.
Absolutely, and you may see another shot come off the rocker right here. Mech putting the first one in, and that defense still looking strong, and still that's what I've been paying attention to, is how they're defending that net, but also the pressure as he escapes the entire defensive line, and Mech himself with a full tank of boost.
And a rush away. It is CJ able to recover. Zariah is the slow roll, making it 1-1. So appreciate the aggro methods right there of balling out, but sometimes you do overextend just like that. Now we have ourselves a tie ball game, but again, still plenty of time left to go in this one. CJ happy to carry the folks up there in order to the promised land and quite possibly out to lunch out.
They are taking them somewhere indeed, and I'm hoping for another overtime, or not another, but another close one at least, or one to get us started here, because this is such a close game. Both defenses and both offenses are kind of playing a very similar way. That slides in, and the own goal almost takes effect, but Wreckcraft able to clear it at the last second and avoid embarrassment, because you do not want that in a 1-1 Rocket League game. Absolutely, you want to keep that lead as best you can. They may be looking to add another one to the tally, but still unsuccessful.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you could see it, but right there in the windshield, Cryptic's eyes, pig-ass sausage there for a moment, says, if I don't move, surely nothing will go wrong. And then how about going incredibly right? It is all about patience on the goal line and all about patience here. Falcons, unfortunately, part of the team play. The problem is, the other two, part of the opposition, 232, and keep in mind, Snorkels, the team that was part of that OT, the one that we saw, well, I see one out there right now. So, I mean, gosh, at the beginning of this series, I mean, we expected something big. We expected fantastic action. We are getting it right here. Again, balling out. Looking to at the very least take us to a game number 3. I'm most certainly here for that content. If you missed that earlier OT, by the way, you have to go back and check it out here yet again. Absolutely sublime. Big part, I think it was actually the second series, but I do digress. As this one's 2-1 in favor of balling out, but able to see them twice now. Same thing with Waff. And this one, I would say, for the two teams that we've seen, I mean, all due respect, I'd see this one going a little bit better in the suit.
You know, I think it's been a very great, we've had a very great number of games here as shots keep pounding each net that we see in every single series. We're getting some exciting games and some great shots as that doesn't make its way in and saved. Area trying to push this one to the wall here, bumped by Cryptic, it's out, and Mech does not get that beat as this one goes to the wall. CJ pulling up again, maybe trying to show off here, leaves it though, it's right to Wreck Wrap. That gets caught by Falcon, and the bump comes through. Nobody's there to follow it up there in time. Cryptic does get it on the backboard, tries for another shot, but it's still not able to make its way in as CJ again denies it and sends it to the wall.
CJ where he needs to be. We're looking to lead this team to the promised land, not just in this game, but over the course of the day. That one gets away, and Cryptid doesn't need a whole heck of a lot to extend the lead to 2 with a minute left, so plenty of time. But CJ, I mean, an error that we typically don't see. But again, these are human beings behind the sticks, ladies and gentlemen. This is not AI. I know the bots are starting to trickle back into gameplay a little bit more, but at the end of the day, an unfortunate miscue. Mark the time of the day.
And that was an unfortunate goal right there. You could see these overcommits from the entire Popeyes roster right now are kind of getting bigger and bigger. As you saw, there's basically 2 of those overcommit goals where it gets past everybody. And, you know, you usually want all 3 players on the opposite side with the ball. What's bad is when you have all 3 players on the opposite side without the ball. And that's what's kind of happening here as the overcommits keep rolling in. But 3-1 may do it for balling out here as they have secured maybe a goal, another one here for Mech, and makes it 4-1. And this is definitely a different game than we saw in game number 1.
Balling out not appreciating that game number 1 ended. So make the statement, leave no doubt in game number 2, and then build on that in game number 3. And again, a situation like this where when momentum swings happen, in a best of 5, you've got time to adapt. In best of 3, absolutely not. This one effectively going to going to be a best of 1 after shifting over to game 3. Momentum critical in moments like this. Right now, balling out, having, dare I say, all of it. And in this one, I mean, Popeyes FC able to come back, get a marvelous victory, but and just absolutely feasting on defense. But this one, they're only really trying to enjoy a wing and a thigh.
They really like to hit their clips at 0 seconds from what I just saw from the double flip reset from Falcon trying to pass into area that was still not in, and the 4-1 taken from Ballin' Out here. And they take one more game and it leaves to game number 3, which honestly I'm really excited for. You got one that swung one way, you got one that swung the other. I want to see my overtime. Give me my overtime now. That's what I want, because these teams are just so competitive against each other. But will Ballin' Out be able to take this game by storm just like they do in game 2? I'm ready to find out.
Full team effort, by the way, as well, by Ballin' Out in that last one. Everybody getting an assist. Multiple individuals with 2, but ultimately CJ got to kick off the scoring for our other team right now. All 4 seconds in, it is off the kickoff. That one spikes high. We saw the kickoff strats previously, and now we do here yet again. Different team, but same kind of story. They have been successful off the cheat regardless of they.
First goal coming through from Popeyes gives them a little bit of a momentum shift, but you know, you did see Ballin' Out just immediately retaliate in every single circumstance. So that's what, you know, we're kind of looking for here as Wreck-Rap takes us all the way up, does bring it down right over Cryptics. Can he get this beat on Area? Not quite. Area's gonna put it down. Right downtown. Wreck-Rap tries to get the beat on that ball there. Cryptics to the wall, and it does not make its way in the net. They have to be more consistent and concise with those touches if they're going to want those shots every single time, and they have to be able to defend that net consistently too, and they do so.
There have been plenty of moments where Ballin' Out has really been challenged, and their mental, it has not wavered, it has not waxed nor waned. And ultimately, I'm very excited to see, as this continues on, past round robin into a day number 2, where they end up, because that is the kind of thing that does breed success, but those shots on net do as well, and it is Falcon finally getting on the board here. The pop away there, and the follow Cryptics. Again, Sweet Lady Physics, oh so sweet right now for Popeyes FC, but as you said, this is much in Ballin' Out. They've been able to respond, and they have all the time in the world to do so.
That was such a close shot once again, and you know, if it just a little bit more forward and a little bit more on that touch there, he could have gotten that ball out of the net. But still, you know, it's only a 2-goal deficit here. You have to be able to, you know, lock in, come back from this. And like you were saying, their mental has had the chance to waver so much. It's been thrown off guard. Every single thing has been thrown at them, but they have, you know, been resilient here. And that loss from WAF, I'm sure, shut them down in terms of how they played, their gameplay, their mental, everything. But now they have the chance to come back, and they are 2 down. How will they come back from this?
And right now, if you are Popeyes FC, you can go out there, not only play your game, but even slow it down a bit, play a little bit of keep away, some hot potato. At this point, certainly not too much time left to go in this one, I think. But again, if you're able to make it 3-0, I mean, probably the best case scenario for you here, you have even more opportunity as you're going to force even more panic. You're going to force the opposition to require even more speed to score in a hurry. It's something that we've seen with balling out, but here, I think they got to do it here quickly. They can't wait for like a $1:30 or a minute left to go in regulation.
Cannot wait at all as Recrap throws that to Cryptix. It's down, not mech to mech. But it does go off the corner here, right past CJ. Keeps going towards the wall there. CJ gonna bring it up. Does get it out and around. Not mech though. He gets that denied. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. He tries to get it up. It's on the ceiling right here. Can he slide this in? He can, and 1 up for the boys in blue.
Marvelous work by Mech. Again, has the 12. Not necessary. The nudge back and CJ lays out, but cannot make it happen. And this has been a thing with balling out. We've just been talking about that mental, that belief. They know, hey, we've been successful. Even the losses that we've taken, we've been right there. Game number 1 was right there. And maybe they pause a little bit too much to allow CJ to hashtag do the thing. But at the end of the day, the deficit, well, it happened. And able to get on the board as well. To that right there, regardless of how you've been playing the season, maybe, or the series, big part, maybe it has been going well for you overall, but there's a little bit something extra special about finally giving that goose egg the opportunity to go away.
And they will take it, but they need 1 more on the net right here to try to make things a reality, try to make that comeback good and useful. As Mech brings that to the wall here. It's right for little Wreck Wrap, and he does get a shot. But denied on the blue half, actually, by Falcon. And the beats keep coming through here, and the overcommits less and less from Popeyes FC here as CJ able to land another one on the board into that blue net.
Of all the things that balling out could not do, that was mandatory. It is not giving CJ space for that very reason. I mean, if anything, making his life a little bit more difficult with the bumps and demos. Maybe a little bit of double team. Looking for the responses. Cryptic. There is Mech. And it is Little Wreck Wrap. I think a little bit of assistance as well from the opposition, trying to get the time. Araya is there, but it is the bumpery to make it happen. And I get Little Wreck Wrap coming in like a wrecking ball. We're back within 1 yet again. $1.16 left to go.
A little bit of a 1-2-3 action here. And like you were saying, there's not much time left to go on that clock. But the comeback can still be real. It's only a 1-goal deficit, and that's what happens when you have a 1-goal deficit, is there's room for being desperate, and you have to be desperate in at least the last 10 seconds of the game. But right now, you have to play it calm. You have to be able to get, don't let it get in your head that you're 1 goal down. Play it like you usually do, but you do have to be in that more aggressive play style here. As Area takes that save, and I know that Popeyes right now are definitely in that play style of we have to defend that net. They are definitely desperate to not let anything in.
The good news for Popeyes. Say, hey, we've got 2 things we believe in. However, not the defense is one of the big part. And Mech keeps after it. Cryptic breaks up, pulls the defense along to the wall, boosts the situation, or at least very little, 26 seconds left. And this is something that balling out has seen before. This has been a position they have been in before, but the same can be said in this very series. You know how that went, and you know who scored the winning goal. I
don't know how that shot from Met got past a triple defensive line there. That's a mystery to me as that ball goes past. Falcon with no boost to try to clear this, but it does not find its way on the blue half quite yet. It's still on the orange half with a shot. Maybe right now area is backwards. And that ball looks like it's down to the ground. Falcon to keep it up. It's still up, and that is on the orange net right there. CJ to push it down for our requested overtime, and we finally get it.
Well, I appreciate it, CJ. Is in fact FTC, folks, for the content. And we saw what happened last time, CJ. The absolute fiend with the gorgeous touch to deny us. Thank you very much. This is what happens at the end of the day. We need our OT. The last time, if you were not here, going for over a full game of regulation, but Cryptic and it's two ticks in, and for the marvelous work that we saw from Popeyes FC, the absolute grace, the elegance from CJ, it is again a hashtag humanizing moment that affords balling out the opportunity. And hey, when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the speed in the back of the net. It doesn't matter anything. Ultimately, it just matters that you score. So not only, Snorkels, you mentioned that shot from Mech. That one right there, it seemed kind of anticlimactic, although after what we saw earlier on with that overtime, that extensive overtime, it is what it is. But, my gosh, what a response here. After that game number 1 loss by balling out, I mean, the way that it ended, a deflating end, but they just don't let it get to them. They just continue on treating every single game as its own series, possession by possession, and that is winning Rocket League.
It was an incredible series, and I feel like at the end of game number 2, I feel like they had that confidence to kind of come in and just wrecking ball the entire series. And by the way, that was so close. Like, it could have ended at any point because game number 1 was taken by Popeyes FC from that incredible goal. So you're talking about a series that you could lose at any point, but they stayed strong, they made those shots on target, and they won the series.
Yeah, and in the best of 3 as well, that bodes so well moving forward, heading on into day number 2 tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, we have had excellent Rocket League action from the beginning to where we are now, but we got a little bit more for you. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break before we continue on with what has been an amazing day. The Independence Cup brought to you the Ability360 Big Part Independence Cup brought to you by Q90. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to help out this fantastic effort, this fantastic cause, please head on over to ability360.org/donate. We appreciate any and all assistance that you can provide. But myself, Snorkels, Logic back there in prod, who we love oh so much, by the way, we're going to take a quick break and even more fantastic Rocket League action after this.
I'm Lauren Janke. I'm the clinical coordinator of the ASTAP Adaptive Gaming Clinic here in Phoenix, Arizona. We provide hands-on demonstrations of gaming controllers for individuals with disabilities. It is a 100% free service, so they have no cost. They just have to kind of show up. So usually I kind of ask, what are you limited on right now? Like, what is making access to a typical gaming controller difficult? So then we use all of that information, all the information they've told me, and then what controller on the market that is there already that we can incorporate into your gaming needs. I am seeing a lot more accessibility settings. I mean, just, gosh, the Xbox adaptive controller came out in 2018, and that was the first adaptive controller on the market.
We have 2 big buttons. Obviously, we have the D-pad here. You got your other miscellaneous buttons, and of course, that home button. These are all the inputs that have 3.5mm jacks, right? These are all inputs to help use other types of controls. So like on a regular Xbox controller, you kind of have like that X, Y, A, B controls. You have your right trigger, your left trigger, and everything like that. With these, you're able to put different switches with them. And say this is like Y, right? Say we're trying to connect the Y button on an Xbox controller. We look kind of like for that Y button, right? Your Y is gonna be right here. So what you're gonna do, simply take this 3.5mm jack, put it into that Y button, boom, and you officially now have a Y button on your Xbox adaptive controller, and now you're able to put this anywhere that's accessible to them. Say that they don't really have any good arm movement. Think creatively, you can put it next to their head so that they could be able to hit it in the side of their head, or you could put it next to like their elbows or even down below by their feet.
The first kid that I ever worked with on adaptive video gaming, seeing his face light up and the joy in his face, I was so in awe that like I can't believe that I helped get to this situation because it's him doing everything. However, I'm just very honored to have been a part of the process to be able to give him that opportunity. So we have a new client coming into the gaming clinic. So she's gonna come in and actually we're gonna start the process from the beginning. So we'll come in, we're gonna discuss kind of her gaming goals, what experience she's already had with it. And then we've already gotten a little bit of background information. So we have a small plan in our head and then she'll actually get the opportunity to play the games and trial a couple different adaptive controllers as well.
Hi, I'm Kay. I used to be a real big gamer. It was a big part of my life when I was young. I played video games all the time, all the old stuff. And then as I became disabled, I had trouble handling controllers, holding on to things, and just kind of lost interest, I guess. And I happened to see a little brochure, and I thought, well, you know, see what they've got. And was able to try out several different controllers, several different ways to be able to hold the device and what's out there. Before I had to go out and spend the money to buy it, and then try to return it. It was as fun as it used to be, and I would have played a lot longer. I still do have some hand fatigue, but I have some ideas of things to try, and gaming is fun. It still is.
Reach out to us because even if you are just curious about gaming, I promise we'll give you the opportunity to try it, and even we'll help you find the solution if that's the case.
Nothing else loses you. So many people get a taste of the spotlight, and they often gone. And they succumb to the evil, run away from the people that they love and done. And oh Lord, I don't wanna be that. You can get me on track. My Lord, won't you keep me on track? 'Cause I don't want none of that. Oh no. 'Cause I don't wanna be. Oh, only you can keep me going. 'Cause I don't wanna be alone. Only you can keep me going. Only you can keep me going. Oh, only you can keep me going. 'Cause I don't wanna be alone. Only you can keep me going. Only you can keep me going. And there's so many evils in this world. Who am I to escape? Am I
Welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 2026 Q90 big part. It's the Ability 360 Independence Cup, brought to you by Q90. We're gonna get it one of these days, folks. I assure you. So we shift on over, ladies and gentlemen. We have the potential here for an interesting contest. And the reason I say that is because the top two teams from our four pools are going to be advancing. Out there, we have the United States of Tony Jackson and Dudes. Now, the United States of Tony Jackson right now sitting right at the top of their particular pool. They have not lost a game. Not a series, a game. So right now, I don't know where Dudes is going to end up right now. I think sitting 7th in their pool. But if they're able to get this dub here, I mean, a major upset, I think it would be.
They are definitely, it would definitely, number one, be an upset if they took this dub, but they are faced with very, very tough opponents with Tony Jackson. Maybe, you know, being one of the better teams that we have had on the broadcast so far today, as another one may find its way in, but still the defense prevails, and the MVP of the day, the left corner post, has, you know, taken hold. It might be a better defensive player than some of the players on the field right now, as 4 minutes to go, one up, and that net just stays wide open. This just may be a free play day.
Now right there, well, we certainly should be talking 2-0, I think, but the U.S. and Tony Jackson, I mean, they are not necessarily stressing too much, no doubt. That one right in front of that, and certainly Michael, not the most elegant in the whole wide world, not necessary, as the mighty Merc, 4 Dudes not able to get back in time, and Michael, a 49ers fan, I would think, will be able to make it 2-0.
I say once they turn on their monitors, the game will be a lot better here with the comeback. Maybe in full swing, but Kaiban's already to get another one on the net. The 3-0 takes hold immediately, a little bit more than a minute after. You know, it could have been a 3-0 a lot faster if some of those open nets were made by U.S. of Tony Jackson. But still, I mean, there is still an opportunity. You know, you never know what's going to happen in these types of games. But right now, we just got to take a look at how that defense is playing, as the fourth one may take hold.
See, this is the problem when you go out there and you score so much in the early going, as Kaiban will do here. You're affording your opponents way too much time to be able to come back and, you know, match the 4, 5, 6, 7 that you may in fact score. And right now it does appear, at least with what we've seen, that the U.S. of Tony Jackson looking like they may very well name this score with 344. And when you have kickoff strats that have functioned as we've seen before, those being cheats. The one that worked this one, it was a speed flip going up over the dome. Slightly as complicated. And it is the power of French dip providing us this pitch, going 164 kph off the dime of Kaiban. They are there, 5-0 in violent fashion.
I don't think I've ever seen a pinch faster in the tournament. Maybe I'm just inexperienced, but that was fast. And the power of friendship to do a little bit of a lucky streak here, but still 5-0. And you know what? I'm anticipating a comeback. I'm seeing all 5 matched, or all 6 right now matched. You know, it has not been a mere, you know, 30, 40 seconds here, and already an extra 4 on the board for U.S. of Tony Jackson. I mean, Monkey Shines, I think this is swinging one way.
I think it is, and I'm going to tip if you got him, it is the hat trick for Kaiban. I know Michael looking for one as well, and that's definitely a struggle when people say, you want the hat trick? You want the hat trick? Well, if you must, yeah, I mean, we've got to make this happen. But yeah, looking a bit out of sorts, and again, it is got to be frustrating as well for the opposition when they are just trying to play their game, and it's been on the bad end of this. You're already down 7. There's 3:13 left to go. And you ask yourself, well, what must we do to best these guys? I mean, we praying for internet to cut out, I suppose.
You know what? I just think they're really lucky. You know, the 8-0 comes through for U.S. of Tony Jackson, but you know, it could be 12-0 right now. I applaud, the extra defense. Like Elk was almost on that ball right there. Oh, it was almost a save. So you can really call it 7-0 right now in this, the sphere of things. So I'm really thinking it could be 12-0. So it's a really testament to the defense that dudes have been able to put on.
Ladies and gentlemen, okay, so the full sense of security defense. It is a calculated risk, most certainly. One of the riskiest things you're going to see in Rocket League, along with flying into the wild blue yonder. But it is magnificent when it can be pulled off, and to make them feel this comfortable, for dudes to make the U.S. of Tony Jackson to feel this comfortable in the moment where they can simply score 10, 20, 30, 40, however much, this absurd number in Rocket League. I mean, it takes a lot of guts, really, to feel that comfortable in such a risky maneuver. But I will say, in the meantime, you better get your dip sauces out. We are looking for the potential of a 10-piece being on the table.
It's very possible in the last goal, local teaser, flying his way straight to Aquadome there. 9-0 on the scoreboard. And again, this could be a 14-0. This could be a 15-0, but the defense prevails from this dude's roster. And still, I mean, 10-0, I feel like this Tony Jackson team could do more. It's just Elk still, again, almost getting that save, and I feel like there could be a lot more on the table.
Well, now, again, we had Popeyes, now we got the 10-piece. If it wasn't hungry before, most certainly. And again, tip him once, tip him twice, tip him 3 times, actually, because Michael did get the hat trick. And now it is the doble hat trick for Kai-Bans. We talk about the 10-piece. Kai-Bans may be looking for an individual 10-piece.
What a save from that post there, but Michael able to get another one in, and Kai-Bans getting a nice little setup for him right there off the post. And still, that ball almost being saved, rolled in. It could have been faster, that ball. It could have been put in at a faster pace here. So Tony Jackson, I say, not looking as good as dudes right now on the field. I feel like dudes has really brought everything they can to the pitch. Elk's on the wall right now, and still that ball, that's a miss from Tony Jackson. It is insane how much you cannot miss that ball when you're in a tight series like this in a 12-0.
Well, as generous as the defense of dudes may be in the moment, we would also appreciate your generosity, ladies and gentlemen. Ability360.org/donate. Greatly appreciate your assistance, any that you can give to this tremendous cause. And again, these struggles that the U.S. and Tony Jackson having, not being up 20 right now, it is rather impressive, the efforts that dude has provided. But at the end of the day, I mean, really just a testament to what they've been able to provide. Keeping the 20-piece off the board, I mean, you would expect that at this point at maybe 206, but here we are, 205. It's not a thing. However, Kai-Ban looking to make it 14-0. Nobody even able to follow up. And what we expect from the U.S. and Tony Jackson, honestly, it's disappointing.
I also agree. It's just like, why is this already? You're expecting, really? I was expecting a 30-piece at this point. Just, obviously you need more dipping sauces for that. But still, I mean, only 13. Only 13 goals. You're talking about a very easy game to do it, but Michael is going to shoot that one in, but it was barely in. I mean, almost a miss right there. Tony Jackson just not looking good on the field right now.
I mean, you go from free play to I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to call this. It is it's less Bob Rossian and more Jackson Pollock. You're not quite sure what you're getting from it. You have to step back and wondering if you're just watching, you're looking at ketchup and mustard being splattered all over the canvas. Well, what you are seeing is a tremendous amount of offense being supplied. I can share some with the rest of the class as Michael. Again, Tiffany, if you got him one more time, you do have Kai-Bans on the quest for 10. Well, Michael now at 6. And again, it's I'm not mad. I'm just kind of disappointed because SA sitting back here with a scant goal. 3 shots and a goal. Meanwhile, you've got Kai-Bans out here. You're letting Kai-Bans and Michael do all of it. 13 shots for Kai-Ban, 10 for Michael. I think this is honestly rude. It's not the kind of teammate chem that is going to result in good things, but one step closer to the individual 10-piece is Kai-Ban.
I want to talk about chemistry for a second, and specifically on the dude side of things. They are so consistent with how they are moving in this game, and I think you agree, Monkey Shines. They're just across that field, able to be in the right position at the right time, whether that's in front of the net or on the other side of the field. they have been consistently in that position the entire time, and almost a save right there. And that is close enough. I don't even want to call that 17 goals, because Tony Jackson was just barely being able to slide this by, and I'm thinking a comeback might be in the cards with 1 minute to go.
I think this is officially a round trip to Brasilia, courtesy of the United States of Tony Jackson. But again, right now, you do have the 10-piece being worked on by Kai. Maybe Michael here before too long. And I would say I've seen the false sense of security defense. This is a rare opportunity as the pull shot is there with a little bit of assistance. Again, it is not December just yet, but the kindness and the generosity of the dudes in that moment. I traditionally don't think you see the defense where you're trying to just basically get all of the energy out, take all of the offense that a team might have, along with maybe get them to the point where their eyelids start to get a little bit sleepy. I mean, you can only expend so much energy over the course of any series, let alone a best of 3, as you do have the Demo Memo passed out. And he ultimately serving this one up. Like I said, if you're going to be generous, you got to go all in. You got to go. You can't leave any chips out there. You got to push everything in that tactical backflip. And Michael, right now, ladies and gentlemen, you do have, again, the kindness that we have out there. And talking about generosity of the fine folks watching, the fine folks donating, and of course the defense. We are talking about not only a potential individual 10-piece from Kai, but also one from Michael at this point, and 33 ticks left to go.
I'm thinking saves, really. How many saves can dude get on the board? Because what's more important than goals, in my opinion, you got the saves, right? So really, if they're able to get more saves, then, Tony Jackson has goals. I call this a win in my book. You got 26 seconds left to go, expecting more goals by now. But, 20-0 is going to be fine for Tony Jackson to, take things into full heat here as the game continues to go. It doesn't go for kickoff here, and another pinch goes south for the boys in blue once again. But dudes, we're so close to saving that ball.
You do have the 10-piece for 2 players, one for Kai Benz, one for Michaels. But honestly, again, for the number 1 team in this particular pool, the fact that we are not talking 25-0 at this point in the game, I think it really speaks well, again, to what dudes has been able to provide, has been able to deny them twice. However, Michael now taking the goal leader role and again, being able to deny them 2,000 points apiece. I say not even cracking 4 digits right now. I mean, it's really unfortunate. What you expect a little bit more, a little bit of enthusiasm over the course of day number 1. But dudes, again, continuing to hold it there strong, continuing to hold down the fort for the time being, is Michael not going to be able to follow up. Again, the shock that I am having out here from not seeing this, and maybe, just maybe one goes in. It does not, unfortunately, but still, again, maintaining the fact that you have denied time and time again the attempt at 25-0. I think it speaks so much to the defensive effort of Dubes.
The fact that Tony Jackson weren't able to get that goal at the end too, it's just insane to me how this should have been more. I'm very disappointed in this roster so far, and I'm really excited to see. Actually, this is just game number 1, right? You got game number 2 on the roster. It did take a long time to get through game number 1, but game number 2, I feel like, is going to be, this was a really close game. Next game could be even closer.
I mean, honestly, I think it's so kind that the dudes are holding off. And maybe it's a situation where just unfortunately things haven't gone their way earlier on. Or they're thinking, hey, you know what? We want to provide these fine individuals a little bit of extra enthusiasm moving forward. I mean, maybe they have decided to back this particular horse. Again, absolute sweethearts are individuals out there from dudes. Look, you cannot appreciate this wholesome nature in Rocket League anymore.
I think the dudes, after that goal right there, are going to start unleashing the beast, because that's what they need to do. They need to, really, these are definitely, like, from what I'm seeing, all players on the professional level, and they need to kind of unleash what they have inside of them and stop, holding back against this team. It's unfortunate what you do see, but, right now I'm looking at Tony Jackson right now. Are they going to have a better performance than they did in game number 1? And right now it's not seeming as so, because that flick could have been a little higher.
Honestly, I'm very, very impressed. The fine folks out here putting together the 2026 Independence Cup brought to you by Q90, able to find folks that clearly said, you know what, we don't necessarily want to run the RLCS LCQ, we don't feel the need, but we are more than happy to be a part of honestly a fantastic event year after year after year. And again, right now, I mean, we're 30 seconds in, we're talking 2-0. I don't know what more you can do, make it 3-0. Again, I expect far more within the first 5-10 seconds of this one. I don't know that the US of Teddy Jackson going to be even able to match what they had previously, and hopefully they can take advantage of the kindness of the sportsmanship that we are seeing on the opposite end of the pitch as the rest of the day and the event goes on.
I think the sportsmanship from Dudes is incredible. Like you were saying, they could have done the LCQ, and all these players could have done the 1v1 RLCS run, but they chose not to. They chose to be here for the Ability360 Independence Cup, presented by Q90. A wonderful time here, and they give us the pleasure of letting us see them work and giving the pleasure to Tony Jackson and really making this series as close as they can. And, you know, just pulling out all the stops, and they're hitting all the clips and the saves from this line of defense. You know, the flip reset, again, just could have been a little bit more top bins there in the net. So I'm really looking at Dudes, seeing how they play, and I'm hoping one day I get to see them on the RLCS level.
We talk about the kindness that Dudes are providing. The Dudes are being Dudes, and the Dude abides. And what they abide by is the kindness that we are seeing, and not just the enthusiasm that they are providing to US and Tony Jackson, but also, I don't know if they happen to have short form content accounts, but if they don't, it's their opportunity to start off on the right foot. If they do, I mean, again, they're giving them content for days, weeks, quite possibly, depending on how they want to do that. They can put a montage out there on Twitter or whatever they prefer. The kindness, it abounds. And even look at this, just taking a moment, clearly taking a moment to answer a phone call, to talk to an individual, an elderly person out there that does not have the opportunity to engage with many people just due to isolation situations. You can't stop but see the absolute sweetheart mentality of Dudes. However, we are again appreciating the fact that as well we are headed to Brazil, courtesy of Dudes.
There is no way Dudes just bought everyone on their roster tickets to Brazil with that one right there. I mean, just an incredible play off the kickoff from Dudes, and I think Dudes could also make their own short form content accounts. I'm sure they have, and put the amount of clips that they are hitting on their accounts. And you know, it's an insane matchup that we have here, and I'm so grateful to be able to watch it as Tony Jackson, again, Dudes let them get another one in, and again, they're letting them have this kind of free play time, and they're getting ready in the last 2 minutes of the game to really show their stuff. And I'm definitely not looking at a 2-0 here in the series, because right now this is as close as you're gonna get.
I think you know as well. I mean, editors work very hard. It takes a lot to even go out there and properly produce a TikTok or a YouTube short video that you feel that truly represents you. So be able to give a little bit of a reprieve right there. Again, absolutely top shelf from Dudes. And I am excited to see what else they have for us in store. So we can just, again, I don't want to get too much out here. But the problem with this is they have provided so much in the way of kindness, in the way of generosity. I am remiss if I don't. And we have to take these opportunities, as U.S. and Tony Jackson, you know, they're able to get right. They're able to properly, you know, properly materialize their goals in their heads. I genuinely, it is stunning. There is a lack of words, as you can see, for what Dudes has provided us here today.
And I think when you're talking about kindness, this whole tournament is about kindness. It's about opportunity. That's exactly what Dudes are exemplifying. So maybe if they don't take a win on the scoreboard, as so graciously gifted to Tony Jackson, they're taking a win in all of our hearts. That providing that for Tony Jackson is the purpose of this tournament. You got 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in this. then I can name the 3 MVPs in my mind, and that's the left post, the crossbar, and the right post.
Of course, you got to give love to, like you say, Mr. Crossbar, the lips of the goal as well. Tip me if you got him, not once, not twice, not even thrice, but four times in total. Chowie actually grabbing one out there, and I believe, again, just truly testament to the incredible nature of what we have out there. Again, Kai Vance, another one saw 10 previously, now grabbing 6, possibly on the quest for one more. And have been passed a little note here, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it's from dudes. They don't necessarily have their name on it. I can only speculate, but again, request the generosity that we are seeing out there on the pitch right now, only matched by the generosity of the fine folks out there in the audience. Ability360.org/donate. Again, we appreciate any and all kindness that you can supply to this tremendous cause. But 3:03 left to go in this one. 14-1. That goose egg, unfortunately absent. But you cannot win them all, and you have to show that yes, humanity is a thing, and to be comfortable with that and destigmatize it. Again, absolutely top shelf work here by dudes.
I think, really, if you're looking at dudes in the defense and the post coming up in clutch once again, and then the crossbar, but eventually put in by Michael. When you're looking at dudes and you're looking at their play style, it's a very, very rare type of player. When you got, if you look at the skill gap, there are less players in Bronze 1 than there are in SSL. And even if these guys on the opposition here and Tony Jackson were SSL, these would still be rarer players, because you look at their rank and you say, wow, this is the kind of competition that I want. And the misses coming from Tony Jackson right now, they are not locked in, pushing that back towards their own net. That's not even a pass back, and that ball not going in, and they going up for it, but Elbow Massa not able to get it in with an incredible save, but an incredible shot as well.
Fine, full send off as a big part, and indeed few people do have the tenacity, few people have the mental fortitude, the intestinal fortitude to remain in those low ranks. But out here 15-1 right now, we do have a team as well. I don't know if you noticed, ladies and gentlemen, but the jumping up and down, understanding that exercise is important too. Hydration is key, being able to stretch out a little bit to get those endorphins, get the feel-good chemicals, in natural form and fashion. So again, just truly exemplary work. Role models for the rest of us, honestly, are dudes.
I mean, I'm looking at a lock-in right now. You can see that ball has just stuck to the orange half of the net, and it keeps going there as that ball keeps getting challenged by the lovely and kind people in the blue here, and the pinches keep going wide. I'm looking at a full comeback to be had, but right now, game number 2, they might let them have that. What a save from Chowie. The backflip almost makes its way in. All 3 players with the ball at the orange net. Will they be able to try to get this on? It's still not going to be possible as Health drives around the ball. It's right to Elbow Massa, and the goal comes through.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are not done here by any stretch of the imagination. And look at that speed. Keep just absolutely freezing Michael in that moment. Not quite sure where he's supposed to go. It's dare I say, it's something that we might see out of Rumble with the Twister or something like that. But handling business all his own, Chowie be able to grab one there. Now, again, we are here at $1.18. I'm not talking about individual 10 pieces because I can't. There's 7 for Chowie. There's 5 scores for Kai Vance. I mean, Michael out there with 4. I mean, again, you were provided this opportunity. It's the final match of the day for dudes. They're giving you this chance, and you cannot squander it.
This is an opportunity indeed for both teams, but you're right, mainly for Tony Jackson here as things take a turn for the worse. They're not able to get it on net. Saves from both edges of the goal. You see the MVPs doing the work that they do best, and the 2-16 lead is closer than you've ever seen before. I think this might be the best game that we've had on stream in a long while, and I think Monkey Shines can kind of have a testament to that, and the kindness that we've seen out of our favorites here, dudes, just has been immaculate. And even though it's a 2-0, you see this all the time. It's a very, very close 2 games.
Very competitive. I mean, again, the score belays what you're actually seeing out there on the pitch, ladies and gentlemen. And again, a reversal of fortunes as dudes, again, opting to score, opting to provide a chance to reflect on something for these individuals out here, US and Teddy Jackson. Meanwhile, I mean, we see a scant 16, not even able to get the 2 on there as we saw previously. So again, some disappointing moments certainly for US of Tony Jackson, but dudes, ultimately their kindness taking in the shade of their tree to set them up for success moving forward. Dudes will be departing, but the US of Tony Jackson continuing on an unblemished record. So we got to say, hey, thank you so much, the fine folks from Dudes stepping on in. Again, your kindness knows no bounds.
Absolutely, and you can see they're so kind. Even Kai Bands 4K from Tony Jackson roster started playing on their team to try to help them out because they just were such kind people, and he wanted to be a part of their mission and the mission here at Ability 360. So just a great series. It's a great series overall. Very excited to be able to be there for that.
That's something we get with a little bit of everything, overall out here today and day number 1 of this event, and I'm very proud to say that I was a part of it all. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we do have the pools starting to wrap up now, I want to take one last quick break just to look over everything. Again, we will be back momentarily. Again, it is the 2026 Independence Cup brought to you by Q90. We'll be right back.
For over 40 years, Ability360 has provided a vast array of programs and services to support the independence of people with disabilities under our 3 key pillars: advocacy, independence, and equality. As a nonprofit organization and the state's largest center for independent living, we offer group and one-on-one services that focus on ability versus disability. Ability360 aims to provide opportunities for people of all ages with all types of disabilities. Some of our programs include information referral, peer support, non-medical based home care services, sports and fitness programs, home modifications, and employment services. Your generous donations will support the programs and services Ability360 provides, so that cost is not a barrier for anyone to participate. These opportunities foster a lifestyle of independence for people with disabilities, and we encourage you to visit our campus to see your donation in action. To learn more about Ability360, visit our website today. Ability360 is Arizona's largest center for independent living. For over 40 years, we have been providing programs and services that promote the independence of people with disabilities. From non-medically based home care services to home modifications, peer mentors, and our vast array of sports and fitness programs, our focus is to ensure a full circle of support. Visit Ability360.org today to learn more about our services and opportunities to get involved with our mission.
for the seas to find you. Mountains and trees I'll climb to. Whatever it will take, I'll always be beside you. Secretest place I hide you. Blood on the cross I died to show you that I'm yours. I will go around the world for you. You. All our days love, come and say I do. I'll be on my way. Hit me up, I'll call on your name. I don't care what they say. Never gonna stop on my praise. I can't keep stopping all your love. I see vibrant colors in your heart. Chase me all day through the fields of love. You are my lover, you are my lover. I can't keep stopping all your love. I see vibrant colors in your heart. Chase me all day through the fields of love. You are my lover, you are la 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 la. I'll be on my way, to hit me up, I'll call on your name. I don't care what they say. Never gonna stop on my praise. I'll be on my way. Hit me up, I'll call on your name. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. Never gonna stop on my praise. On my praise.
Hi, I'm Jackson. I play for the Ability360 Power Soccer Phoenix Rising team. I like being out and playing with all my teammates. After all these years is basically done, so I have better teamwork and I can get out and do a sport. It makes me super happy. I see myself continuing to play until I'm super good at it.
When he started, he was a little hesitant, but he just jumped right in and really learned like the logistics of it. His coach is also in a power chair, so he felt very connected in that way where Tony understands him. He has so much more confidence and a sense of independence. His friends think he's super cool when he talks about the stuff. We'll show videos of him. He just has really grown, and now he's just playing some of the moves he does. I'm just like, oh my gosh, you are getting so good. And it's really cool to see the progress and the growth. And so that's been pretty incredible to watch. I mean, we want everyone to feel included, accepted, loved. And I think that's the most important thing, is these programs allow the kids to feel included and loved and accepted. Sports are something that we can make adaptive enough for most kids, and that's what we should be doing for sure.
Hi, I'm Silas, and I play for the Ability360 Phoenix Rising Power Soccer team. So my first game was, I was scared. It was intense.
Ability360 is Arizona's largest center for independent living. For over 40 years, we have been providing programs and services that promote the independence of people with disabilities. From non-medically based home care services to home modifications, peer mentors, and our vast array of sports and fitness programs, our focus is to ensure a full circle of support. Visit Ability360.org today to learn more about our services and opportunities to get involved with our mission. Ability360's annual Independence Cup would not be possible without our presenting sponsor, Q90. Q90 provides accessible technology solutions to those with disabilities across the nation, assisting centers for independent living with documentation tools. Their user-friendly tracking and reporting helps to ensure that people, not paperwork, are the focus. Burnout and stress are less with a simple management system from Q90. Since 1993, Q90 has served over 300 centers for independent living across 56 states and territories and hopes to continue their work for decades to come. Ability360 would like to thank Q90 for helping fuel our annual Independence Cup. Link Logistics is one of the largest owners and operators of last-mile industrial real estate in North America. With approximately 3,000 warehouses and distribution facilities across 40-plus markets. Founded by Blackstone in 2019, Link leases industrial space to more than 7,200 businesses. From global e-commerce retailers and third-party logistics providers to manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. Link Logistics' infill-focused portfolio puts customers close to the consumers they serve, supporting faster delivery, efficient supply chains, and long-term business growth. Ability360 would like to thank Link Logistics for helping fuel the 2026 Independence Cup.
You're the best company, and even when I'm going back, you are in front of me. Always straight loving me, even though I might be losing, you're in love with me. Somehow you're never done with me, even when I'm done with me. Somehow you keep loving me, my wolf.
Trying to find my way back to you. 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 All that I become, I'm glad you see that all I have is all you need. Take my hand, I'm on my knees. Now I understand you're the one for me. All that I become, I'm glad you see that all I have is all you need. Take my hand, I'm on my knees. Now I understand you're the one for me. Trying to find my way back to you. 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 See that
Welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2026 Ability360 Independence Cup. And, well, we're looking at the final contest of our day that we'll be following along with it. The Chaminade taking on Generation of Miracles. So, Snowball, it has been a day and a half, and I have no doubt we're going to head it off and stop.
It's been 2 days almost of great content here as the double tap almost comes through from Red Snapper. Here it is, Generation of Miracles versus Chaminade for our final match of the day. And so far, we got one up for Chaminade. If I'm correct, there's those Generational Miracles. I've already lost track of it. But we got an 0-0 right now, so this could be a close game.
Got Chaminade out there in blue, Generation of Miracles in orange. Generation of Miracles, you see at the top of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Able to take that game number one. Again, the action all over here. It is coming to an end for the day. You can find what's going on out there on start.gg. Just do a search for the Independence Cup, and it'll come up for you. We have a fantastic day of action tomorrow as well, starting at the same time. Red Snapper, gorgeous flick back, and Chaminade certainly not going gently into that good night. The sun has not started going towards the horizon just yet.
Good night as the one game up team takes one in a beating. 1-0 for Chaminade right now. If they can get back on track, if we can get a game number 3 out of this, I will be excited. That would mean pretty much all the matches of today had just some number one, incredible gameplay. Number two, some incredible content for you guys to watch. So it has been just just a lot of great series, and hopefully we can get another good one here as that ball finds the wall right to Fusey. That's what I'm going to call him right there. Yug down on that ball as it continues to pound that orange net.
We've had a veritable cornucopia of content today. Even more excited about what we get tomorrow. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the best two. All the 4 pools that we had today, they will be advancing on to tomorrow. And we have had best of 3s over the course of the day. Well, we get some standard issue stuff tomorrow. Red Snapper, and look at the reset, looking to set up back down. And it is going to find the back of the net, RS9. I was pausing there momentarily, wondering if we could see a magnificent save, but Luke goes out there, front post, and sit flat-footed out there in the middle, and can only watch. Suggesting as well that there might be some lag issues. Is looking at the ping for the Generation of Miracles, it is all yellow and starting to dip into red occasionally.
I mean, it only happens you got 2 regions against each other, but they did take the first game, which is actually really quite cool to see that, and especially on some of the ping difference here. It looks like this may be on the Western servers here. An EU team does not fare well on those, but still, this game continues to go. They have not let that many in quite yet. As that ball goes down, it's right back to Luke. Right to Red Snapper, grabs the boost up on the wall, takes it, maybe a pass out to the midfield here. It's right down, but still denied by the entire defensive team as RS9 tries to get it out onto that net, but still denied by the entire team. And that one might be for Yug, and he takes it in style. The 3-1 for Chaminade.
Chaminade looking about as good as anyone could ask for. We're certainly them, and yeah, with teams who are not NA specific, especially with a tournament that, you know, your home base in terms of server is US West. I mean, US East can sometimes be a pain, let alone going across Central and over the Western portion. Although you don't typically hear a whole heck of a lot of West. Usually it was East and now Central, so West getting a little bit of shine. Got to be happy about that, no doubt. As Luke although leaves this one away, popping over the corner. Red Snapper, however, with the nudge away. So Chaminade very, very dominant here in game number 2 after letting game number 1 get away from him.
Absolutely, I see a very, very different game than we, so much as weren't able to watch, but as implied, the implied game that we saw in game number 1 here, very different than what we implied. So the 3-0 just coming into fashion and becoming a 4-0 immediately. I don't really see any occupation of this game from Generation of Miracles.
Yeah, it was most certainly a vibe on that one. And again, we were not, unfortunately, here for game number 1, folks, but 3-1, I believe, in favor of Generation of Miracles. So the fact that we are seeing this much of a shift, I mean, I don't know how they got there, obviously, but I mean, if nothing else, the score, such a dramatic turnaround right now for Generation of Miracles. Would adore one, but again, all of them, they have been sitting in yellow in terms of ping, and right now a 204 in the red. There's only so much that you can accomplish with that. The ball popping all over the place. You can't get comfortable with any shot. And at the end of the day here, yet again, the Chaminade able to get on the board. So I think really, this is going to probably sound kind of odd, Schnorkels, but I think the thing is you let the, you don't stress about skips. Obviously, that's not something we're seeing today after replays, but you just kind of let these games take as much time as possible to maybe let the ping even out. And my goodness gracious, Timothy got him into the hat trick from RS9 off the kickoff. Very wide, great read. Holy Calvin beats 71 kph. It felt like so much more. And oh my goodness gracious, again, 58 ticks left to go in this one. And it appears to be done and dusted.
I'm very confused right now. I really want to know what happened in game number 1 now for Generation of Miracles to take it, because they are taking a beating right now from Chaminade. The 7-0 to come through. I don't even know if this will be a Brazil with the amount of just constant pressure that Chaminade has right now, and it looks like we are going to a 1-1, but not before these 52 seconds tick down to the ground as Red Snapper to bring this up once again, as he has done many times in this series. And off the ceiling, Young to take the 8.
So, again, I think was looking for a little bit more in terms of competitive nature to end this one. To be fair, we will be headed to a game number 3, but again, I can only imagine the level of frustration being felt right now in Generation of Miracles. You're trying to go out there, do your absolute best, but you can only do so much. Well, you can crack the goose egg at the very least. Maybe take us on a little trip to España as well, but hopefully it is the double A kick, affording the opportunity to get on the board for the very first time. And again, we talk about at this point, it's all about building morale for that game number 3. Comeback victory, yes, very winnable, as Mattel's mentioning out there. So at the end of it, does appear that we will go down to, again, what is effectively a best of 1 to end our day.
I mean, I always like seeing a best of 3 to end my day. What the pitch! And then RS9 to try and follow that one up. Holy cow. That was close to a nice shot there, but still just not letting anything go in right now. A game number 3, like I was saying, always nice to end the day with 1, but this domination is very subsequently maybe going to take over the game number 3, but who knows what happened in game number 1, and you know, why can't it happen again?
Exactly. I mean, this is Rocket League. You know, I know, we've been around long enough to know that strange things do happen because hashtag this is Rocket League. So we shift on over into a game number 3. Game 1 going in favor of Generation of Miracles. 3-1, I believe, and then that one a shellacking, if you will, 8-1. So now we shift on over. We'll see what happens with the ping. Will it maintain? A frustrating game number 2 in so many ways. So hopefully things do even out a little bit. I'm here for OT.
Me too. I would love to see an overtime game here, but like, how does that even happen? Where you have something like that in game number 1, you take it, and then get 8-1 in game number 2, and it's like I always say this, I'm going to keep repeating it every day that I live, every stream that I'm on. You never know what happens in game number 2, and that's exactly what we saw. So really stuck it to, you know, the other team here, Chamonix did. It was just a beat out.
Yeah, I mean, and very frustrating again. Like I said, that has to be, but still, I've seen teams time and time again, regardless of rank, be able to go out there and have a great game, a single solitary game where it just looks like, okay, well, obviously this is how the series is going to go, and that they basically expend the offense for the remainder of the series. Will that be the case here today? Again, a shorter series, but the ping, it still does sit in the yellow for Generation of Miracles. Not necessarily indicative of how this one is going to end, but I would argue so much of the momentum, if not all of it, on the side of Chamonix.
And from that first play, it looks like they may be right back in action, but the glue from Young just stuck to the ball and his car as that goes out and over, right back to the blue side of the field here. Continued offensive pressure from this Generation of Miracles roster has to be applied and able to take these games, but that creates an open net right for Red Snapper, and he shoots it top right.
And we see spikes into red now, kind of shades of what our game number 2 was. And honestly, Snorkels, you can only do so much in these situations. I mean, you basically try to not just pre-jump, but pre-jump. And again, with the ball, you know, spawning all the way across the field or something. If it's a consistent red, that's something that can be done if you are, for example, on US West playing in MENA. But when you are playing, you know, when 2 of you are consistently on yellow and they're on yellow, and then one of you is popping over into red, I mean, just no consistency can be found. I mean, that point, it's hard to even make contact with the ball in the first place.
Yeah, not to mention, you know, you got kickoffs. Every single 50 is going to go wrong if you have high ping. At least that's my experience. If I'm in an EU server or, you know, a South America server, I am 100% not getting any kickoffs, any 50s. So that's what's happening for a lot of these touches that they're getting, and everything just starts to seem a little bit later. So very hard to come back in this situation. Applause to them for game number 1, whatever happened. I mean, they definitely had some good moments there as that goes off the sidewall and the fake comes through. Young tries to go for the bump here. The plays from
I I'm not sure how many candles may have been lit looking for the double blade there, but ultimately a little bit of assist from Mr. Crossbar. And I mean, we have seen some better play generation, but ultimately a tee up there. Red Snapper taking advantage of the situation, and again, frustrating that must be right up and over the dome. We are seeing something more akin to a proper playbook, but just again, that momentary lapse is enough to tear the pages out, toss them in the bin.
It looks like it. We've got a little bit of a game plan that is overdue for Generation of Miracles here as the flip reset tries to come through for Shamanade here, and Yug Yug puts that one down. It's right past, goes to the wall here, but beat. And a lot of these goals that you're seeing on the side of a Shamanade right to Generation of Miracles are kind of just, you know, awkward positions that Generation of Miracles put themselves in. And it's not completely, it can't completely be attributed to the ping, of course, in a lot of those circumstances. Some of them can, but a lot of them cannot. As that shot goes wide, it goes up way too far. Hits the crossbar, again, the MVP of a lot of these games here, and unfortunately not able to make it 2-1.
So can Generation of Miracles, after just an absolute shelling there in game 2, 8-1, I know it's 2-0, ladies and gentlemen, but aside from just some unfortunate shots going a touch awry, I mean, we could be talking about a tie game here. This is not, you know, this is not irony, this is not sarcasm.
This is not anything that I saw in game number 2, that's for darn sure. I mean, it's some things. I mean, the 2 goals, obviously they did get 2 goals, but they got 8 goals in game number 2. This does not look like 8 goals to me. Neither does it look like the pressure that they were putting on to start this on. Game number 3 looking a little bit more like we saw in the game number 1 of the first game that we played on stream here. It could be a comeback opportunity for our boys Generation of Miracles. If they can pull this one off, it will be a game 3 for the ages.
The struggle, though, is considering the ping. I really felt those couple of opportunities that we saw previously for the shot on net was critical, and Yug Yug going to extend the lead to 3, buck 15 left to go, and in these moments it would be certainly understandable if Generation of Miracles said, well, okay, only so much we can do, but want to, of course, see this one played to the bitter end. And again, credit to them for being able to not only go out and get the game 1 victory, but to play to this degree, still seeing at least one of them pop into the red, but just high yellows as well. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the pitch, you've got 36, 64, 84, so while not, you know, 10 out of 10 no notes in terms of that ping, obviously far more navigable, and we ain't done here just yet. And ladies and gentlemen, the individual who's been spiking into the red, what does this say about you if you take a loss here in game 3 to this crew? There's 58 seconds left.
You got time if you're Generation of Miracles, and they're really going to need one to try and turn this game around. The generation has to be this one, as that might land itself a slow into the net. RS9 trying to come back and get another one on the board for this team here. Another one might be right here, but the save keeps them alive. They just need 2 more. It's a deficit of 2 to get them back in this game, get them in overtime. But with this offense that's happening right now, it does not look like that will be the case.
And I will say, regardless of how this one ends, this is incredibly impressive. Like, if you can get me on a server where the ping is relatively even, like at this point from what I'm seeing, maybe Central or East, I think we see, I mean, even more of a tremendous series, but really testament to what Generation of Miracles has been able to do despite the ping. Yeah, it does appear that they will lose this series, but my gosh, I mean, they gave it their all, they got a dub, and they were right close to maybe bringing this one, even maybe getting a victory. But at the end of the day, Chaminade going to be able to advance with this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is our final game of the day, but having a look at where things are ending up, heading over to pool 1 here, it does appear as let's start, if you wouldn't mind generating. They have the United States of Tony Jackson. They are going to be advancing along with Quad Gods. And then over in pool number 2, as that starts to jump up here, there we go. It's going to be Patel's team and Astro. advancing out there in Pool 3. We've been see a number of teams out there in Pool 3. It'll be, shockingly, Wingle Dingle Shoopadoob and WAF, the team that we saw a little bit earlier on. We saw both of them a little bit earlier on. And then out there in Pool 4, it will be Bag Chasers, I believe, and Ghent. I think that game has been determined. At least that's who I'm showing right now. So we will see a little bit more traditional play style. You're saying we are seeing as well in lobby that the lag was rough. Players mentioning it. I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, that's what we as what you anticipate in those cases. But again, a fine job done overall. But you see what we're going to be enjoying tomorrow. Sundays we're going to be seeing winners and lowers. Standard match is going to be BO3, winners and lowers final BO5, and then the home finale is going to be best of 7. The grand final winners starting with that game advantage. So series start is going to be 1-0 instead of 0-0. We'll just need to win 3 games. In the case of that, will the individual that gets through uppers. But ladies and gentlemen, it has been a treat today here. The 2026 Ability 360 Independence Cup. My name is Monks Johns. Alongside me is Snorkel. Snorkel, tell the fine folks where they can find it.
You can find me on all my socials. You got Snorkel Sucks is where I go, but I don't suck. Trust me, you had me on the broadcast for a while today, and I had such a fun time on all of the series today. Just such great games that I got to see. I do not like, usually these games go one way or the other, but we had a lot of overtimes, a lot of close series. It's a pleasure to be here today, and you'll see me tomorrow.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, while that will be the end of our day, would like it to not be the end of your kindness and appreciation. If possible, head on to ability360.org/donate, and we appreciate anything that you can provide. But while we may be done today, we will see you tomorrow. My name is Monkey Shines. Alongside me, it is Snorkels. We cannot wait to see you again for day number 2 of the Ability 360 Independence Cup, brought to you by Q90.
You deserve my attention.